From New York to Cleveland we go, where it's Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. The Guardians got a huge victory in Game 3 in walk-off fashion in the 10th inning, with David Fry and Jhonkensy Noel being the heroes that they've needed. And a big defensive play from Andres Gimenez from the outfield in the 10th inning at the top to keep this series within reach for Cleveland. They trailed 2-0, but now it's in a position where they are within reach. Fry got the walk-off 2-run home run to left center, 399 feet out in the 10th, right after Jhonkensy Noel got to left field, 404 feet on another 2-run home run. That was in the 9th inning. He homered off of Yankees closer Luke Weaver. That prompted Quay Holmes to come in for the 10th inning. Did not make it out of it. Got 2 out, but not the final one. Hello everyone, I am Alec Nava. Welcome to Progressive Field for Game 4 of this ALCS. The Yankees lead 2-1, but that was after an epic that featured a multitude of clutch home runs from Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Noel, and Fry. The Yankees and Guardians get back at it. So, what can we expect from these two? Let's go on to the previews. We start with the visiting Yankees. 1 strike. That was all they needed to effectively end the postseason hopes of their ALCS foes. But we won't be here romanticizing about it had it not happened. Instead, New York faced a massive momentum shift that comes from expending extra innings, resources, and energy on a likely win till last minute, slipping through the fingers loss. That's not to say it's all doom and gloom. It's quite the opposite, to be honest. Are we willing to bet that the vibes in the clubhouse are that of confidence rather than frustration that a fan might feel? Yes, because players know the ups and downs of baseball more intrinsically than people do, and fans of the sport would do. And from the perspective of how the Yankees played, they put themselves in an incredible position to win on the road. Should they continue to do that, this series should still be theirs to take. You could argue that it was one of those must-win games for Cleveland. We know that the numbers behind winning a playoff series in any sport when down 3-0 in a best-of-7 format is near impossible. Only once has the reverse sweep happen, and that was the Boston Red Sox against the New York Yankees in 2004 of that year's ALCS. So considering a series-saving, possibly season-saving, final strike home run from the Kris Kringle of Cleveland, Jhonkensy Noel, a literal big Christmas miracle. It was needed to preserve their lifeline. The Yankees and their fans should still feel pretty good about this series. It's quite different to string together multiple wins hands together, and the Yanks have shown in each of the 3 games they are more likely to win in this game. It's why they were slightly favored yesterday, and why they are again tonight. Luis Gil will be out onto the mound for Game 4 as he tries to secure an almost as effective 3-1 series lead. The optics of losing back-to-back would certainly not feel great, so it's expected that there'll be a sort of a leash on the young righty should he find his way into trouble. Gil leans on his fastball. He throws almost 50% of the time. It's got a lot of heat to it, 96.5 miles an hour, and he gets an inch more vertical of movement than the MLB average, resulting in a 205 BAA this season at the 81st percentile and a 13.2% swinging strike rate in the 88th percentile. And he mixes in a slider and changeup that are equally as effective, maybe even better. You're wondering, why isn't he the best pitcher right now? That's because of his command. Not too often you see a 95 location plus rate, which is 5% worse than the league average, because most MLB pitchers are near to the average ability. Gil is one of those true hurlers. He is a flamethrower, rather than a pitcher you may label as a Rembrandt, painting the corners. So he is his own Achilles heel. His walk rate is in the 4th percentile, 12.1%. Will he be able to keep himself out of trouble? Nobody can touch him when he's on, and that righty warranted Rookie of the Year discussion throughout the season. This is the biggest moment in his young career. Aaron Judge is looking like he's shaking the monkey off his back, and Giancarlo Stanton is crushing everything that he sees in his path. Gil doesn't need to be perfect for the Yanks to win, but he just needs to be solid. And it may be expected that he can deliver a solid opportunity to win for the first 4 or 5 innings. For Cleveland, they look at them, The quiet building rivalry between them supports certainly between Cleveland and New York Spurs, or certainly has the Guardians fans feeling very good. And a comeback victory is fueled by multiple big-time clutch home runs compared to the potential fate of an 0-3 series score by a single pitch from reality has got to be one of the best feelings in sports. 2 swings. The Guardians effectively saved their season, but that's not necessarily something to be thrilled about. Optimally, you wouldn't need heroics to win a game at home, where you have the best record of any team at their own park, but that is where the Guardians are. Everyone believes they are thoroughly outmatched. So how would they respond? Was last night just a blip on the radar? A one-time lucky instance of which, in order to be replayed to a large sample, would have this gone the Yankees' way? Or is it something truly brewing under the hood for a miracle run for Cleveland? A lot of questions have to be answered, and Gavin Williams has to answer as such. He'll be placed upon the mound at the start of the game to answer them. He started 16 games for Cleveland this year. 4.86 ERA, 1.37 WHIP, a 3-10 record. So his expected stats indicate a bit of bad luck and a more likely ERA in the ballpark of 4.20. However, the downside is his fastball. It's a BABIP of 3.39 this season, which is in the 20th percentile. There is good heat to it, so you can same 96.6 miles an hour that you see with the likes of Garrett Cole. The side pitches look solid here for Williams, though he is liable hanging a curveball or a slider. But everything points to Williams having a distinct ability to outperform his past results and impress against the Bronx Bombers. Hitting may be a tough out to come by against Gill. If you go just by matchup stats, you might not get that same conclusion. The Guardians have seen Gill this season, but the rookie left the start after 3 innings and allowed 6 walks in that span. We'll go on the injured list afterwards for a couple of weeks, though we haven't seen Gill pitch since September 28th, off the back of 2 starts in which he combined to give up 10 earned runs to the A's and the Pirates. But the likelihood is that the extended rest should help, and there's a good chance, based on the numbers, that we could see another low-scoring affair, at least while the starters are in. You can think about a tight game that may need more heroics than the Guardians to get themselves to the level of the Yankees. No disrespect to them, as we're discussing teams with insanely different bankrolls that you think Cleveland was playing by different rules. And it's very impressive of what the Guardians have done. So don't be shocked if they steal another game at home. But it would be a surprise to see a win without more spectacular performances. We go to our starting lineups here. We begin with the visiting New York Yankees. Luis Gil on the mound. He is their starting pitcher. Gleyber Torres continues to be the leadoff man. Saints ain't top 3 for New York, as with at this entire postseason run. Torres at second base, Juan Soto right field, Aaron Judge at center field. Shakeups here on the 4 through 8 matchups, with Chaz Chisholm Jr. at the 4 spot playing third base. Giancarlo Stanton remains the 5 spot. He's the designated hitter. Anthony Rizzo at first base batting 6th. Anthony Volpe remains at 7th. He's at the shortstop. Austin Wells at catcher batting 8th. Yesterday it was Jose Trevino. 9th, it is Alex Verdugo. He remains as the last batter at left field. For the Guardians, who are starting Gavin Williams, they have him on the mound. So unchanged for the most part on this lineup. 1 through 9 as for yesterday. Gil making his first career postseason start, going up against Steven Kwan, the leadoff batter left field. Kyle Manzardo at DH. Jose Ramirez at third base. Josh Naylor at first base. Lane Thomas at center field. Daniel Schneemann at right field. Andres Jimenez at second base. Austin Hedges at catcher. Brian Rocchio at shortstop. Gil and Williams are making their first career postseason starts. We'll be right back for the first pitch, with Williams pitching to Torres. Up next. getting set here in Cleveland. We're up and ready to go here for the first pitch. In the meantime, it is 12-6 Mets. They're not going away any easier, Huey. As the Mets, they're on their way to forcing a Game 6 at Dodger Stadium. 12-6, and they did a lot of damage, even going up by as much as 8 runs by the 4th inning. Pete Alonso began things with a home run to center field, scoring Francisco Lindor and Brandon Nimmo. Kike Hernandez scored on a David Peterson wild pitch, but then it was 5 unanswered Mets runs in the 3rd. Starling Marte on a double to score in Jesse Winker and Pete Alonso. Francisco Alvarez scored Marte. Francisco Lindor scored Alvarez on a triple. Alvarez on a base hit. Brandon Nimmo, those base hits, scored Lindor. Eddie Paez broke that with a home run to left center, 418 feet. Alonso's home run to center was 432 feet. Then Jesse Winker hit a triple to score in Pete Alonso. Jeff McNeil's sac fly made it 10-2 as he scored in Winker. Paez's second home run was 376 feet to left center, scoring in Kike Hernandez and Max Muncy as well. Then Mookie Betts with a home run, 382 feet to left, as the Dodgers cut it to a thin 4. But that was quelled by Jeff McNeil's sac fly to score in Jesse Winker. Starling Marte's RBI base hit scored Pete Alonso. That's the most recent score here in this 8th inning. In a double play, in the meantime here at Metland, in Citi Field, there's no throw to home. So Gavin Williams, 3-10 the regular season, first career start in the postseason. Same thing for Luis Gil. 4.86 ERA, 76 innings pitched, 79 strikeouts to 32 walks. Batters have hit 246 off of him in the regular season. And his pitch arsenal uses that fastball 51.5% of the time. That's his favorite go-to pitch. Curveball 19.8%, cutter 12%, and slider 11.3%. The changeup at 5.4%. But most of the time he uses that fastball as is his go-to. Now you'd figure that Williams would use those other pitches on a more consistent basis. Andres Gimenez and Steven Kwan, the 2 Gold Glove winners here on this Guardians defense. Gimenez mans at second base, Kwan at left field. Chris Siegel is our home plate umpire. Jansen Visconti at first base, Vic Carapaz at second base, Mike Estabrook at third base, Gabe Morales at left field, and Dan Iasonia, our crew chief, at right field. Iasonia umpiring his 8th championship series so far to date. Gleyber Torres lead things up as we get underway. And on the first pitch, he slashes it on a ground ball to right. And on the first pitch he sees from Williams, it is a base hit. Immediately just like that. And the vibe's immaculate at the Yankee dugout from Alex Verdugo. And you think of New York Yankees, you think of Juan Soto. He has a chance here to break this one open, just like he has done time and time again with the Pinstripes. Ever since he arrived with the Yankees, he's been dominant. Takes ball 1 upstairs from Gavin Williams. That's a fastball that's been the Williams' go-to pitch. .292 batting average this postseason. Second on the team, right behind. I would actually call for third on the team, right behind Giancarlo Stanton and Anthony Rizzo. And that's 2-0. Guess this one went downstairs on Williams' fastball. There's 2 straight of such. So it was a double play by the Dodgers as Jeff McNeil comes in. Luis Angel Acuna at third base. He does not move. He's in the place of Jesse Winker. 2-0. Fouled left. Yet another fastball from Williams. Can he get a consistent second pitch and a consistent third pitch? This is the big question of Gavin Williams. This is the 4th postseason game in MLB history of both starting pitchers on at least 19 days rest in this game. Interesting note, that time it's a curveball. So he goes to another pitch on his arsenal. He has to build on more consistency from. 83 miles an hour that time, but it was downstairs. 3-1 count. So Anthony Bonda's in for the Dodgers. Pitched 4 innings this postseason, 5 strikeouts this far. Dodgers trying to mount a comeback. Mets trying to send this to game 6. 3-1. And this is high to right center field, going all the way back is Schneemann. And see you later. Again and again, Juan Soto strikes thunder. It's a party at the Bronx, and this party continues as they have another bomb from the Bronx Bombers and another handshake from Soto and Aaron Judge as they dap each other up. Soto launches this one all the way back. Center field, 414 feet. The ability to take over games like these, paramount here for the Yankees as they have had that in years past. As that was downstairs for Judge, 1-0 count, Carter 93. Judge has come alive as of late. He had a game-tying home run in game 3 in a losing effort. Judge slashes this right field, it's fouled. Almost got that one. It was a fastball, one that Judge likes. It's a 1-1 count. So in this LCS, the Yankees changed up their lineup in the 4 through 8 spots. Save for Stanton, who remains consistent at the 5 spot. Has seen a lot of success. Curveball 82 was downstairs. So 2-0 Yankees so far to begin with. You also have some NHL games free of such. The first one is already underway. No swing from Judge. It is a 3-1 count. And Game 4 of the WNBA Finals is already underway. The Minnesota Lynx on the brink of losing the WNBA Finals. The Liberty trying to win their first in franchise history. 3-1. That's inside on the bottom line. 3-2. It's full now. 1-1 between Carolina and Pittsburgh. Drew O'Connor open it up. Lars Eller and Jesse Puljujarvi the assist. You have a timeout on Judge. Evening it up is rookie Jackson Blake. 64 seconds later, Eric Robinson and Jesperi Kotkaniemi the assist for Blake. Made the team out of training camp. Payoff pitch. Judge slashes this one. Fielded by Rocchio. Throw all the way to first is right there on the money. That's the first out of this game. It's hard and on the ground in the direction of Rocchio, who wasted no time in throwing this to Josh Naylor, whose foot was down when Andres Jimenez made the spectacular defensive play from the outfield in Game 3. One of 3 heroes in that match. First pitch for Chisholm is fouled back. The Mets are tied for having the second most runs in a postseason game in their franchise history with 12. And Carlos Mendoza wants to have Edwin Diaz pitch the start of this ninth inning. Teoscar slashes this to right field. Not a lot. Big swing and a miss from Chisholm. 0-2 already, and Williams 14 pitches in. Other 2 games, the Winnipeg Jets and the San Jose Sharks already underway. The Anaheim Ducks and Colorado Avalanche at 9 o'clock Eastern. The Jets on the board, thanks to Josh Morrissey from Dylan DeMello and Nikolai Ehlers. Star-studded lineup here for the Yankees. And it only got bigger when they acquired Chisholm from the Marlins. The 0-2. That's to the right on a curveball from Williams. It's 1-2. So the Sharks trying to answer back, and here's the 1-2. Chisholm fouls this one back. It remains a 1-2 count, and the Hurricanes have taken the lead on the power play. Martin Necas in the second period to break it even. And a big swing and a miss down low on the curveball. And Williams chases out Chisholm. The the normal K is for strike swinging on the strikeouts. Reverse K is for strikes looking. The H is from Seth Jarvis and Sebastian Aho. Game can be watched on NHL Network. As Williams delivers to Stanton. Stanton crushes this one, but Schneemann steps up. It is not deep enough. He's got it. No further damage here in this first inning, as we'll get you right back in just a moment for the bottom of the first. So first up, it is Stephen Vogt going with Stephen Kwan at the leadoff spot. As it's official, the New York Mets have forced Game 6 back at LA. 12-6 your final score there as we have the 1-0 pitch upstairs again. It's on a fastball, 2-0 count, Luis Gil make his first career MLB postseason start. Dodgers tried to come back, but the Mets silenced those spots. The 2 more runs as this is strike 1 down for the middle. First career strike issued in the postseason for Gil, who has a .350 ERA in the regular season, 15-7 in 29 starts. 189 batting average. Opposing batters off of him, 3-1 as this went upstairs. Can he survive the postseason pressure? That is the question. And can he get more control of his pitches? He is a flamethrower. But can he deliver? It's Aaron Boone on the 3-1. And there is the walk as it is upstairs. And Kwan heads to first. All the nerves of a postseason appearance for Gil. As we have the update as Ian Hamilton exited Game 3 to an injury. That prompts the Yankees to elevate Mark Leiter Jr. to the ALCS roster. Hamilton sustained a left calf strain while covering first base during the 6th inning of Game 3. The MLB approved the roster substitution. This is a first pitch strike for Manzardo at the top line. The MLB approved the roster substitution after Dr. Gary Green, the MLB's medical director, confirmed the injury following a full review of the medical information. In accordance with the rules, Hamilton will be ineligible to return for the World Series. Should the Yankees advance as Manzardo, it's fair, through the right line, gets a bounce off the wall, picked up by Soto. Soto delivers, and Kwan heads to third base. It is a double for Cleveland with Kyle Manzardo delivering and Jose Ramirez have a great opportunity to get the monkey off his back. Just over the glove of Anthony Rizzo as he tried to catch it, but it just went by him. So had he caught that, it would have been a double play. How are we doing, Ian, by the way?
I just drove 7 hours back home for the first couple days of fall break. And, yeah, man, I'm tired.
Well, that feeling may be a lot of times around, but whew. Well, the Mets didn't Mets, to say the least. It looked like the Dodgers were going to come back as Jose Ramirez, shallow right, it's at the foul tracks. Rizzo watches this go to the stands for a 1-1 count. So the Mets, they saw a scare in the middle innings when Mookie Betts homered and made it 10-6. But Jeff McNeil and Jesse Winker quieted that and made the final score 12-6. And Ramirez, this is deep enough to left field to score a run. Steven Kwan's on his way. The throw will not get there. And the Guardians on the board. It is a sac fly for Cleveland to cut the Yankee lead in half, as it was caught a left field by Alex Verdugo. So the throw, it was deep enough for a sac fly, and Ramirez, he technically does get the monkey off his bat, but you'd figure that it would be a hit for him and not a sac fly. Kwan gets a leadoff walk, and now it's Josh Naylor. Big unit, 250 pounds of such. The other big unit, John Kensey Noel, nicknamed Big Christmas, had delivered the game-tying home run in Game 3. Andres Jimenez, the second of the three heroes in Game 3 before David Fry gets the largest pack of French fries, and Naylor, oh, this is up. This is going to be in play. And it is. Austin Wells makes the catch. 2 up and 2 away. Let's try again. So now Lane Thomas, now in, batting 5th in this order. Trade deadline acquisition from Washington. Something acted up on your end, I guess?
Yeah. Just, phone had to do some adjusting. But it looks like, it does look like the Guardians are trying to go on the attack again.
Mm-hmm. As they did with that sac fly. And they can tie it or take the lead with Thomas, who came from the Washington Nationals. Yep, and on an 0-2 count, he did get a friendly bounce off the top of the wall and put himself on board for John Kensey Noel's game-tying home run. Could he do some similar heroics here for Cleveland? Maybe so. The right-handed batter, just like me, popped up, not in play. 1-2 as it hits the safety inning behind. So since September 1st, Thomas is batting .269 of a .555 slugging rate, has hit 9 home runs in those 33 games. He's facing a 1-2 count. And the big key here, if he can deliver something off of Luis Gil. The pitch. No swing. It's a fastball at 97. Interestingly, Ian, this is just the 4th game ever in postseason history where both starting pitchers are making their first career postseason start. Yep, Luis Gil for the Yankees. It's out right now. And delivers strike free right through bottom center. Gil is a solid pitcher on his own right, but he's the number 4 pitcher. And all this moment, he has delivered 3 strikes in this first inning. It is a sac fly for Jose Ramirez to score in Steven Kwan. That's all the Guardians could do in this first inning. Juan Soto with the home run to begin with for New York. So we head to the second inning. Two-1 Hurricanes at Pittsburgh, by the way. So checking around for 3 NHL games. The other one doesn't begin until about a half an hour. That is the Anaheim Ducks and the Colorado Avalanche. The New York Liberty are trying to clinch the WNBA championship tonight against the Minnesota Lynx. The Lynx trying to force Game 5 back in Brooklyn.
Oh boy. So another Minnesota heartbreak might be in the works.
Well, I don't want it to happen nonetheless, because even though the Liberty, they're the best team in the WNBA right now, I personally am rooting for the Lynx to win this WNBA championship. They're a very good team in their own right. They defeat the Liberty in the Commissioner's Cup. And now an opportunity here to take the WNBA championship for themselves. But they got to win here tonight and then win Game 5 in Brooklyn. That's the big key. What I'm here for in Minnesota, on their end, defense and three-point shooting. That's been their big strength. But the Liberty's big stars, that means Brianna Stewart, Sabrina Ionescu, Jonquel Jones. Those are who you want to have if you're the Liberty, if you want to stand out and take this game. Oh yeah, and it is 2-0 Winnipeg, by the way. That's the second of the 3 games in the NHL right now. Josh Morrissey scored the first goal for the Jets. Nikolai Ehlers on the power play makes it 2-0. Gabe Velarde and Mark Scheifele, the assists. So the Jets are one of 3 undefeated teams left in the NHL right now. So as I'm checking in with the NHL standings currently, it feels wrong to see that the Colorado Avalanche are winless.
That, I thought the Avalanche might have some struggle, but wow.
Yeah, it just feels so wrong. First pitch, ball 1. On Anthony Rizzo, the former longtime Chicago Cub. One of those markers says 455 in the Progressive Field. So the 4 undefeated teams, as we have ball 2. The 4 undefeated teams in the NHL are the Tampa Bay Lightning, the aforementioned Winnipeg Jets, or should I say 3 undefeated teams, as there's a 2-0, foul back on a fastball. So the 3 undefeated teams being the Lightning, the Jets, and here's a shocker. The Calgary Flames are 4-0-0.
I did not realize that.
Me neither. It does get lost in the chaos as we have two on the count for Rizzo. It does get lost in the chaos, but if this rebuild is progressing nicely for Calgary with this young core and with the mix of veterans like Kadri, Uyghur, Huberdeau, then you have yourselves a shocker here. We have a punch out here for Gavin Williams as he strikes out Anthony Rizzo. The reverse K as it's a strike looking.
The Sharks just scored on the power play. New free agent acquisition, Tyler Toffoli.
Oh, love me some Tyler Toffoli as well. Holy moly. And hopefully that 70s line can be reunited as this ball one is outside right for Volpe. Sophomore shortstop for New York. Toffoli from Jake Wallman and Michael Granlund. The 1-0. It's down the middle. No swing from Volpe to even the count at 1. So another 70s line could be brewing. If you remember back in Los Angeles, it was Tanner Pearson, Jeff Carter, and Tyler Toffoli. Here's the 1-1 as it's outside left on the cutter at 93. So a 70s line could be brewing in San Jose with William Eklund, Macklin Celebrini, and Toffoli. How's about that for the new edition of that 70s line?
Oh, that would, it certainly sounds nice.
It does. A little homage there. It's 2-2 on the count for Volpe up against Williams. So here's Williams dealing the 2-2. Strike free. It's a top left. Volpe did not offer, and another reverse K. Of course, there's a differentiation. Normal K means strikeout swinging. Reverse K means strikeout looking. And a perfectly placed ball by Williams as he is making his postseason debut. He already has struck out both Rizzo and Volpe, both the Anthonys. Now you have Austin Wells, the catcher. He was benched in favor of Jose Trevino in Game 3. Now he's back in the lineup batting 8th. Originally he was batting 4th, but he was moved down to 8th because Trevino was inserted. Wells has to get his batting numbers up. Wells, right center field. This is going way back, and see you later. Austin Wells, welcome on board.
Come on. Guardians.
He turned a fastball into a bullet. His first home run of the postseason, and how fitting that it comes with the Bronx Bombers. His rookie, delivering on all fronts. The big show for him in delivering is now 3-1 Yanks. Called strike one on the left line on the fastball from Williams. Good delivery, 31 pitches in onto Williams' day. As Wells, he homers off of Williams, making his first postseason start. Wow. And Verdugo had to jump out the way at that pitch because it was going towards his feet. Dangerously close. Because whenever you get hit by a pitch, the pain is going to be felt, obviously. The 1-1. Perfect curveball. Offered bottom right as it faked out Verdugo. Now becomes a 1-2 count. Top of the second. 2 outs. The home run being a 2-out home run. A solo shot. The 1-2. Bottom side. 2-2 count. It evens up. They're paying attention all throughout this, the NHL, and the WNBA. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And while Williams got 3 strikeouts in this inning, he did allow that home run to Austin Wells. But outside that, the home run was the only blemish on Williams in this inning. Let's see if Cleveland can answer back on the bats. 3-1 Yankees as we head to break. And Winnipeg as well, they restored their 2-goal lead. And once again, it's Nikolai Ehlers, his second of the game. Cole Perfetti got the assist. Maybe more growing room for Perfetti this season now that there is a full-time lineup opportunity for him. And conversely, as we speak of the Jets, let's talk about the team that got Rutger McGroarty, the Pittsburgh Penguins. So McGroarty's down with WBS in the AHL. For more playing time that many can speculate about. Something to grow his confidence in the game. He thought he was NHL ready, but there may be some indications that he needs to grow himself some more before he's ready for a full-time spot in the NHL. Just a hunch. So, New York and Minnesota in the second quarter. Very tight game. Pretty much, they're exchanging one possession in matches and throughout this first half. Liberty currently lead 28-26 by means of Betnijah Laney Hamilton with 10 points at this point in time. Now it's a 1-point game. Kayla McBride has 11 so far in 10 minutes played. She's Minnesota's big 3-point specialist. She's hit 2 of 3 this far. Same thing for Nafisa Collier, their big defender, as she won Defensive Player of the Year in the WNBA this year. 10 points already. Now Minnesota's taken the lead, 29-28. And Carolina has struck on their man advantage. They got a power play, and they score with 2:47 to go. It's 3-1 Hurricanes. Someone help me out here. It's the Hurricanes and Penguins. I don't know which one to root for. Of course, yeah, it's my 2 favorite teams nonetheless.
Yep, and Shane Gostisbehere, 3-1 Hurricanes.
Yep. It's a ghost slapper. Yeah, I wanted to get that out there because it's a second go-around in Carolina. His main defensive partner is Sean Walker, because Dmitry Orlov is with Jalen Chatfield for the most part. Gill delivers a first pitch strike on the right line, right on target for Daniel Schneemann. Has yet to get a hit in this postseason. 0 for 5 of a strikeout. Game 4, ALCS, as Schneemann pumped and missed up high on the fastball. 0-2 on the count. So now down to count 0-2. Bouncing ball just goes for the right side but reaches foul territory. So we're waiting on if there are assists here on the Gostisbehere power play. A goal. They didn't list it here on the ESPN side. We'll have to wait and see from official Ward. Does feel wrong that the Avalanche, they're winless so far. Here's their 0-2 pitch again. Now it's 1-2 as that favors Schneemann as this throw was outside to the right. And even though it's weird to see the Avalanche being 0-4, it may go to one certain thing here, Ian. Alexander Georgiev was going to last a short time here. 2-2 on the count, but Georgiev, he worked out well for 1 year. Year 2 was go on back to late-stage Rangers years. And we're seeing some more of late-stage Rangers Georgiev so far in Colorado in year 3 here. Ground ball just goes to second base, fielded, and then thrown from Torres to Rizzo. 1 up and 1 away. It appears that it's unassisted for Gostisbehere on the man advantage. So it's going to be just a solo job here for Gostisbehere. So nicely. Now up next for Cleveland, Andres Jimenez swung and missed. He's one of the 3 heroes for Cleveland in Game 3 on a great defensive play, batting .179 this postseason, but he is elite defensively. Jimenez fouls this one back. 0-2 on the count. Cleveland, Ohio. At Progressive Field. It's a drive away from the house that LeBron James built.
Yep. The same man who delivered Cleveland its first championship in decades.
More than a half century, 52 years. It's crazy to believe that was 8 years ago now. 1-2. The Guardians trying to deliver Cleveland their first World Series appearance in said 8 years. They hold the MLB's longest active World Series drought. That ended at 8 years with the Chicago Cubs 8 years ago. The Guardians now hold the longest active drought, looking to win it for the land. That's their slogan and their moniker. The 1-2. Skied up by Jimenez. That sends Judge back. He's right there, Johnny on the spot. 2 up and 2 away. So Judge does not get a lot of credit for his defense for as good as he is on the bat. And while the majority of his home runs are at Yankee Stadium, do remember Judge, for as good as he is offensively, he can chime in on the defensive side. He did some chase down catches in game 1 of this ALCS. There's Austin Hedges as he leans back. He can be prone to strikeouts. Very prone to strikeouts. He's more of a defensive piece for Cleveland. So Bo Naylor is the other catcher. David Fry is a utility player. He's also played catcher. There's a swing and miss from Hedges. He went up high, and that evens the count at 1. Guardians catchers in their first 7 games are 0 for 23 with 9 strikeouts. Yesterday, when they were 2 for 3 of a double, a walk, and a run. So there's a silver lining for the Guardians catchers that they have yesterday to look at. But nonetheless, it's not looking good for Bo Naylor or Austin Hedges. Fry's played catcher before, but he's primarily a first baseman. The 2-1 on the left, on the fastball. So Hedges is paying attention to the strike zone more and more. The 3-1 count. The last time that the Guardians won a World Series, 1948. And we were in the middle or at the beginning of the Cold War by then. 3-1 pitch at the left center side at the fastball. Luis Gil makes it a full count. And Eric Sabrowski, the Edmonton native, is warming up at the bullpen.
Hang on. When did you say the Guardians last won a World Series?
1948.
Actually, no, we weren't at the Cold War yet. That was the 70s and the 80s. We had just gotten done with World War II.
Yeah, we just got done with that. And there's a walk drawn by Hedges. So he's on his second stint with the Guardians. Spent here 3 years from 2020 to 2022. Save for a year which he split between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Texas Rangers last year. So Hedges is on board. Brian Rocchio, who's been Cleveland's best batter statistically, 407 batting average this postseason. And perhaps, should the Guardians make it to the World Series, he could be a frontrunner for World Series MVP. First pitch, just outside of the top left corner. 35 pitches in for Gil. So it could be technically a bullpen game for the Guardians as they're getting Sabrowski warming up. Rocchio's on an 8-game postseason hit streak, the longest such in Cleveland Guardians franchise history, as he fouls this to right. 1-1 count. Hedges spent the first 6 years of his career with the San Diego Padres before was traded to the Guardians in the middle of the 2020 season. So 1-1 strike. Gil delivers. On the bottom line, just outside they say. It looked to be on the bottom line, but Rocchio gets a very friendly call. 2-1. Rocchio waits. Hedges at first. First base umpire watching. The 2-1. Rocchio skies this one. It's out left field. Verdugo and Judge both going at it. Verdugo arrives there first. And Verdugo and Judge high-five each other. That ends the second inning. The catch made back at the warning tracks. It was deep. Not enough for a home run. Torres, Soto, and Judge were back at the top of the order for the third inning. 3-1 New York. So now as we get another update, how about 4-1 Jets and another power play goal? Neil Pionk from Alex Iafallo and Vlad Namestnikov.
Yep.
So I know Macklin Celebrini is on the IR, but if he's going to come back soon enough, what will be your impression on this Sharks team?
Oh, wait. when did Celebrini get injured? I just saw him play against the Blues.
That was after the Sharks finished their game against the Blues. He played his first game, but he was placed on the IR. He may be dealing with an issue on his lower body, I believe. He may have been dealing with that throughout the offseason, and it may have caught up to him. So it may be a precautionary measure taken by Ryan Warsofsky.
I see. My impression of this Sharks team, I gotta be honest, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this Sharks. I feel like here's how I feel about it. They're too great. I don't know how to judge them because they're 1 year into a rebuild. Actually, not even a year. They just started their rebuild, like officially, with the drafting of Celebrini.
And you also have Will Smith.
Yep, and Will Smith. So yeah. I mean, I don't know.
No, but the way I see things with the Sharks, it's going to be a year of growing pains. It happens for every rebuilding team. And I think it's going to be one of those years where they're going to have to mesh it together. I don't feel there's a true number one defenseman on the Sharks, unless if you count Jake Wallman, who they got from the Detroit Red Wings. But this Sharks team is hard to gauge. It's hard to evaluate such a team when you're struggling defensively as such. First pitch for Torres is upstairs on the fastball. It's very hard to evaluate this Sharks team. Yeah.
Here's what I will say. Their goal right now, here's what their goal their goal right now is to get Celebrini acclimated to the NHL. That's their goal. Him and Will Smith. If they focus on developing their young players while trying to get through the rest of the contracts that Doug Wilson locked them into to the point where they can possibly be traded, then yeah.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
And it is. 1-2. Bouncing ball. This goes to third. Fielded by Ramirez, and the throw all the way across. Windmill catch by Josh Naylor. Well done there for the Guardians on the first sequence for Gleyber Torres as he is put away. So get your young core acclimated to the NHL. Have them grow on their respective lines. Have Celebrini with Ekwin and Toffoli. You have Stephen Vogt coming out. He's going to pull Gavin Williams after 40 pitches and get Eric Sabrowski in. So it's basically a de facto bullpen game for the Guardians as they put Sabrowski in. Then you can go to a long reliever up next after this. Ben Lively was used up. You remember, Alex Cobb was placed on the injury. Alex Cobb is ruled out for the rest of the ALCS as he was injured. And this young core for the Sharks, it includes Fabian Zetterlund, who has 2 goals in his first 4 games. Ekwin 3 assists in his first 4. And also you have those free agent signings that you brought in. Barclay Goodrow to solidify the penalty killing unit. Alex Wenberg for the middle 6. Tyler Toffoli to grow the young forwards. Luke Cunningham was brought in last year to solidify that middle 6. Carl Grundstrom for the bottom 6. Queen Costin, who you acquired at the deadline last year for the 4th line for defensive purposes. And you also have Daniil Gushin, part of this young core for San Jose. Defensively, this young core also includes Henry Frun, 23 years old, and he's still getting used to playing in the NHL. You don't tie Emberson to Edmonton for Cody Ceci, but you want to have veteran presence to help your young players grow. And for as frustrating as Ceci may be, at his best, he could be an above average defensive defenseman. And I didn't even mention when you point out to the expiring contracts or the veterans that you can sell off at the trade deadline, Ian. The Sharks have all 3 of their retention slots used up. Though after this year, one of those will be lifted as Brent Burns' contract will expire at the end of this year. Erik Karlsson's contract will expire after 27. Tomas Hertl's will expire after 2030 or so with the Vegas Golden Knights. And your big veteran piece, as we get back underway here in Cleveland, your big veteran piece, Logan Couture. He's in the injured reserve right now, but you could trade him off to a contender if anyone calls for his services. Could that be an option there, Ian?
Well, again, the Sharks are in a rebuild. So really they have 2 goals in mind. Develop the youth and sell off any pieces and get anything in return for them. Let's face it, right? Did you say Couture is in the last year of his contract?
This is his third to last year of his current contract. His contract expires in 27. Wow, that's a big swing and a miss from Juan Soto with Sabrowski in. 1-1 count, but Couture, he'll have this year and 2 more on his current contract at $8 million a year.
At $8 million a year, okay. If you are the Sharks, I mean, first of all, you have to be real with yourself. Even if it's going to sting, if you get an offer for Couture, you got to take it. Because in this last 3 years, are you realistically going to be in a position where his veteran leadership will be useful in a playoff push? I don't think so. So, with that being said, shop him around.
Yeah.
If he comes off this year, let's see.
Yeah, he's 35 as well. And
you know what? But again, it's too early to tell right now, but there are going to be some
takers.
Teams that will be looking to add a playoff warrior like Couture if he's able to go. And I would say, you know what? You know who would be a team that would pick him up, I think?
Who could be?
For some reason, if we're looking in the East, hang on, let me take a look at the very, very early standings that could totally change by the trade deadline. But if we're looking at this right now, like right now,
it's 2-2.
You know what? You might, if they're still at the top, you may look to trim to Utah.
It's on the by way. We have 2 more outs on here. It's Juan Soto. He grounded to first on a toss to Sabrowski, and Judge, he struck out swinging on a low drive. He's going to go golfing. Jazz Chisholm Jr. will not get a chance to go up. Quan, Manzardo, and Ramirez for the bottom of the third. So, Couture to Utah may sound like an enticing idea. Could he fit around that middle 6?
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm also trying to figure out what playoff team would have both. What playoff caliber team would also have the cap space that's assuming the Sharks don't retain some of the salary. If they retain some of the salary to help sweeten the pot, then yeah, he'll be traded to a contender. I would say, you know what? It's so hard to tell right now because it is so early in the season. But you know who may look for it? Also, because you mentioned the Calgary Flames and that they have a core there.
Yep. Yeah. Kadri, Huberto, Igor Sharangovich, Connor Zary have been very surprising as of late. This young Flames team. If they do make it to the playoffs, Ryan Huska deserves the Jack Adams, hands down.
Yeah, and I would say come the trade deadline, if they're still near the top. I mean, let's face it. You're not going to have to give up a haul and a half for Couture. And Couture has years of playoff experience. Even, he has Stanley Cup Finals playoff experience.
2016.
Yeah. So if you really wanted to, the Sharks could, in theory, if and when he comes back, sell him off to Calgary. Obviously, you got to keep the price. You got to keep the return price reasonable. If you work out a way to swallow some of the, if you work out a way to swallow some of his salary to make the cap hit a little more, a little less, then you can go ahead and haggle a bit. But I would say Calgary, or you know what? Actually, you know what? Let me look at it one more time.
Oh yeah, you did mention Calgary. Just as we get first pitch ball from Luis Gil. Well, Calgary has $18.6 million of cap space currently. Utah, with this near $8 million that they have in near $8 million that they're investing in LTIR, as we have that one at the top right corner for Stephen Kwan, who has a 15-game postseason on-base streak, the longest in franchise history. So, what one pitch? No swing, 2-1. So, Utah, on the other hand, just over 22 million, maybe even 23 million just over 23 million of cap space when you include the LTIR money. So Utah and Calgary can work. Kwan to the left. That's over Volpe. And Kwan will go to first.
Yeah, Alec, it's hard to tell right now who two trade candidates would be, because, again, we've just started the season. But for a playoff warrior like Couture, shoot, $8 million in cap space per year. Now that I think about it, unless you're going to eat some of that contract, can you move Couture?
You do remember the Sharks don't have a retention slot available.
Right. So
that's going to complicate things. So the team that is trading for Couture has to trade for his entire contract, which puts the Sharks at a disadvantage.
Yeah. So I don't think. So unless they're going to trade Couture for basically nothing, I don't think they're gonna be able to trade him. Like with how, actually, if they really wanted to get rid of Couture this season, they'd probably have to do something similar to what Philadelphia did with Shane Gostisbehere back when the Arizona Coyotes existed. You remember that?
I remember that.
Gostisbehere and picks to Arizona for nothing?
Well, it on the long haul, it did get the Flyers John Tortorella, as this is fly to the right from Manzardo to Han Soto for the first out. That gets Jose Ramirez on board, but nonetheless, when you think about it, that did get the Flyers John Tortorella on trading Gostisbehere and picks for nothing. Jose Ramirez, this is not a play. It's fouled back. 0-1 count. But that trade did help Gostisbehere return himself into being not exactly a dominant offensive force, but putting up respectable numbers, especially quarterbacking the power play. To the right, changeup 91. It is a 1-1 count. So Hurricanes and Penguins in the third period. Hurricanes lead 3-1 at PPG Paints Arena. 2 power play goals being the difference here for Carolina. Natchez and Gostisbehere. As we speak, Ramirez swings back. 1-2. Gostisbehere has his assists, Andrei Svechnikov and Martin Natchez. The Jose sign. A little O2. Ole, 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 ole. That's a little nice touch there from these Guardians fans. Hey, Ramirez, this one's popped up to shallow right. Called for at that spot. And a catch made by Gleyber Torres for the second out. And a power play here for the Penguins. And the Penguins have fired just 12 times on Freddie Anderson. Joel Blomqvist faced 26 shots. He stopped 23. Anderson hasn't been tested a lot. But when he has, he's been effective so far. So the Hurricanes defense, this has more to do with the Hurricanes defense and stifling the Penguins at every turn. 3-1 Yankees here, bottom of the third. And with Josh Naylor at the plate. And there's a run on the way, a stolen base there for Stephen Kwan. The throw was very late from Austin Wells. So Kwan took off and ran with it. As he dove for the bag, the throw was very late from Wells. He thought about it, and he hesitated a bit. When you're seeing someone steal a base, you should not hesitate to make a throw. Ball 2 to the right on the changeup. So Kwan's a second. He's in scoring position. Basically a double play out of the equation unless if this is fielded out of midair on a line drive. Luis Gill, 52 pitches in. 2-0 count. And Josh Naylor can make this interesting. Can tie it. Wow. Gill gets a friendly call. It's a 2-1 count as it was upstairs, but it's called a strike on the fastball. At halftime, the Lynx lead 46-45. The 2-1. Big drive and a miss. Josh Naylor on his final strike on a 2-2 count. His brother Bo also on this team. And Bo is the catcher. He's backing up Austin Hedges tonight. As Gill readies himself up. Timeout's called by Josh Naylor. So, in that first half, Benija, Laney Hamilton with 10 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. 9 points each from Jonquil Jones and Leonie Fibic. 9 points each. 3 rebounds for Jones, 2 for Fibic. Sabrina Ionescu, 6 points. She does not have a three-pointer. 0 for 2 in that regard. With 3 rebounds. Josh Naylor taps this over left field. Stepping up is Verdugo. Down. Picked up. Stephen Kwan advancing. He's going to score. Cleveland's within 1 thanks to Josh Naylor. On a left field. And a nail gets put down. And a smart call by the third base coach for Cleveland to get Kwan going home as this one dropped down shy of where Verdugo is standing at left field. It was not in his line of sight. And this one well up high for Lane Thomas. 1-0 count. Third base coach Rogeless Odor called for the keep going. He told to Stephen Kwan, we have a timeout here by the Yankees. So Luis Gil, for as talented as he is with his pitches, the big issue he has is his command. And that's been plaguing him, especially on that last hit for Josh Naylor. 56 pitches into his day. It's impressive that the Guardians got here, especially with Shane Bieber out for the year after playing just 2 games this year. He was supposed to be the Guardians' ace this season.
Yeah.
The 1-0. Outside left. 2-0. That's on a fastball from Gill. So a Bieber out that prompted Tanner Bybee to be promoted to their ace pitcher. But so far this postseason, Matthew Boyd has been Cleveland's best pitcher. 2-0 pitch. Downstairs by a slight bit on a changeup. 3-0 count already. It's 3 pitches, 3 balls for Lane Thomas. Trade deadline acquisition from the Nats. Three-0 pitch on the left line. 3-1 count for Thomas. Still 3-1 Carolina. Let's see if the Penguins can respond in kind and make it 3-2 to make this more interesting. 3-1 pitch. Bouncing ball foul to left. That went to the Guardians' dugout. So that makes the count full. Can Luis Gil get himself out of trouble here? Last pitch was the 60th. Daniel Schneeman's on deck. He plays at right field. See if this game can be more. Already, this game is being more interesting than the Mets-Dodgers game. And as a whole, the Mets-Dodgers series. This ALCS has brought all the theater. The NLCS, on the other hand, has been rather anticlimactic for the most part. And the Mets 2 wins. The Dodgers try to spark a comeback, only for the Mets to silence it. Payoff pitch. And did he go? No, that's going to draw the walk for Lane Thomas. Full count. And Thomas draws the walk as it was downstairs. Just missed it by a slight bit, and Guardians fans are waving their towels. They're petitioning for Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift to come over to Progressive Field.
Yes, Travis Kelce. He may play for the Chiefs, but he is a Cleveland boy.
Westlake, Ohio native from Cuyahoga County, and Aaron Boone is coming in. I feel that's going to end Luis Gil's night. As everyone's on for the mound meeting. He's got the call. 61 pitches in for Gil. As we have the camera views from all over Progressive Field. This was the site of Game 7 of the ALCS. Game 7 of the World Series in 2016, I meant. The Chicago Cubs ending their 108-year drought in a historic moment. And Tim Hill, sidearm maestro, he's warming up from the bullpen. So sidearm pitchers usually top out around 80 miles an hour on their pitches. For the most part. Ryan Thompson of the Diamondbacks, on the other hand, tops out at 90 plus. The Daniel Schneeman at the plate, looking for his first hit. And that's going to count as a disengagement as Josh Naylor was out a second. And in popular culture at the 2016 World Series, the final game is a plot point in the 4th episode of the 2nd season of the sitcom Not Dead Yet. Interesting note. Skied up by Schneemann, it's fouled back. 0-1 count. Runners at first and second, Naylor and Thomas. So as Schneemann's readying up, so is Gill. So he's staying on. It's actually not Aaron Boone. Big swing and a miss from Schneemann. It wasn't Aaron Boone coming out, it was Matt Blake. These two look very similar to one another, so it's hard to differentiate between who is Blake and who is Boone. So if I couldn't tell the difference between them, I apologize. The 0-2. Upstairs. And Josh Naylor goes back to second base. 1-2. So Stephen Vogt watching hours indicates that the Guardians were to take the lead here or even tie it. The 1-2 on the way. Schneemann. Wow, that was a bullet on the foul ball. Hit the right side wall. So 1-2 on the count. Juan Soto right field. Aaron Judge at center field. The delivery. Oh, the throw almost got away. It's 2-2 as Wells caught it upstairs. And good awareness by Wells as this one's upstairs on the way up. You gotta believe signs here. They have the old Chief Wahoo logo at Progressive Field. Foul to right again. Still a 2-2 count. In Game 7 of the 2016 World Series, many have said it's the greatest game in MLB history. Some even compared it to the likes of 1997 and 2001. Wow, now the count is full, as this was to the right for Schneemann. The drama and tension, everything around it, has made its justifiable comparisons with 2001, 1997, 1991, 1960 if such. Full count throw. Schneemann fouls again. This goes to the Yankee dugout this time. So, Stephen Vogt watches Schneemann. There have been 8 pitches on this at-bat. The next one will be the 9th. Can Schneemann deliver? Gill looks back. Payoff pitch. Struck him out. Caught him swinging on the slider. 88 on the left corner side. Bottom. And that ends the 3rd inning. 1 hour is officially transpired in this game, which has been on average of most MLB games for how it goes in terms of length. Yankees lead 3-2, heading to the 4th. Lynx and Liberty back in action. Hurricanes lead 3-1 on the second half of the third period. And the Jets, they made it 5-1 on the Sharks. Kyle Connor nets his 3rd goal of the season. Neil Pionk and Gabe Velarde have the assists. Connor's on a tear to begin this year for Winnipeg. If he keeps this up, perhaps the Jets could be once again a surprise playoff pick given the losses they had in the offseason. But you got to get those attendance numbers up. Or you can build a new venue that seats around 18,000 people, because an arena in which it seats 15,000 people is well below NHL standards. So, right now, the Ducks and the Avalanche have begun play. Goaltenders are Lucas Dostal and Alexander Georgiev. Yeah, you know how dejected I was when I saw that he is the starting goaltender for the Avalanche. Because he's getting repeatedly burnt out. And they're overusing him, one. And two, he's not that good of a starter. The Avalanche think that he is the solution to the problems at Nets when Darcy Kemper left. It worked for 1 year. Keyword, 1 year. He's been middling ever since.
Truth be told, I will never understand why they let Grubauer go.
I mean, Grubauer, he was perfect for Colorado. The defensive system fits him. The coaching fits him as well. In fairness to Grubauer, Seattle's defense has been up and down, but nonetheless, Grubauer is losing that goaltender battle to Joey Daccord as of late, but you'd wonder how Daccord would do as the number one option. Then again, it just feels weird not having Grubauer in Colorado for right now. And the backup netminder situation for Colorado, I don't know if it's that much better. Pavel Francouz was forced into retirement because of injuries. And now you have Justus Onanen as your backup goaltender, who's been very raw to say the least. You live by your top-heavy attack in Colorado, and you die by it. Jack Roslovic, as we have a first pitch strike from Eric Zabrowski onto the top right corner. Roslovic has netted his first as a Hurricane, and it's 4-1 Carolina. And that's strike one, or is it ball one actually? Yes, it was caught by Austin Hedges. That evens it up. Zabrowski 11 pitches in. The 1-1. Big cut and a miss. It was towards the bottom right side. 1-2 count for Gill. The Jazz Chisholm Jr. 143 batting average this postseason. He's supposed to be their big trade deadline acquisition, and Chisholm punches out. Stared at that bottom right for too long, and the reverse K shows up. He'll sit down. So Zabrowski has retired 3 batters in a row. Here in the top of the fourth, he is coming in the place of Gavin Williams. He has some good arms here, all the way from our friends up north, even the northernmost NHL city, Edmonton. Bottom side, slider 86, 1-0 count for Giancarlo Stanton. One of 2 big units on the Yanks. Up there with Aaron Judge. The 1-0. Ground ball foul to left. It enters the Guardians dugout. Though if you want to be immortalized into if you want to be placed into Yankee immortality, you gotta have a memorable postseason moment for Yankees fans to remember. Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, they both delivered on that with memorable postseason moments. Well, I have yet to see that from Judge. 1-2 to Stanton. And just like that, the Ducks are on the board, with Brian Dumoulin scoring the first goal. Like I've been saying. No, 1-2. Oh, that's too low. There's a curveball there from Zabrowski. It's now a 2-2 count. So 2-2 as the count was evened up. The pitch. Foul back again. So Stanton. So to answer your question about this, what about Soto from Rob Strauss? So been a while since I last seen you, man. So Stanton so far is 0 for 1. Oh, did he go? No, he didn't. So Stanton, he didn't reach on his first plate appearance, 0 for 1. It was a fly out to right. Soto is 1 for 2. If we're speaking on that. So you got the plate appearances a little mixed up there. So Soto is 1 for 2. He has that home run to center field. Strike free, right on Giancarlo. It's down through bottom center. Did not swing it. That 20 pitches in for Sabrowski. Got the first 2 outs of this 4th inning, now up against Anthony Rizzo, the former Cub.
You said Stanton is one of the 2 big boppers in New York, and you said Stanton and Judge, and then I'm like, wait, Soto's there as well.
Yeah, got acquired from San Diego, Rob. How you doing, man? It's been a while since I last seen ya. The 0-1 count. In the meantime here, 2 up and 2 away. On to Rizzo. Rizzo fouls this one to right on a bouncing ball. It is a curveball that time around, as opposed to the fastball from Sabrowski. And fans here standing on their feet. Here at Progressive Field. 0-2 count. Anthony Volpe on deck, should Rizzo reach. So 0-2 to Rizzo. On the way. Oh, that spike to the dirt. They wanted to make it a test to a Gronk spike that time around, but no. So 1-2 as Sabrowski, he's retired his last 4 batters. Chopped up on a low drive. This is over the head of Brian Rocchio, well over him, and it's a base hit for Rizzo. So now Nets puts up Volpe onto the plate. Rizzo has World Series experience dating back to his Cubs years. A lot more power onto those bats. Guardians trying to make it back for the first time since 2016. Giving yourself a shot. What you want to see is Volpe takes ball 1 as it was up high. Francisco Lindor was part of that Cleveland Indians team in 2016 to make it to the World Series. His Mets forced Game 6. Bottom side for Volpe. Downstairs, 2-0. So Jose Ramirez is the lone player on the Guardians right now to have been on the 2016 World Series. Among those series includes Carlos Santana. On the top side, on a slider. 2-1 count. As Eli Morgan is warming up, he's one of the higher leverage relievers for Cleveland. Sabrowski still going strong. Mike Napoli, also on that 2016 Indians team. Yan Gomes, 2-1. Bottom left. Fastball 92. And so the Yankees down to their final strike of this 4th inning. Rajay Davis hit the tying home run in Game 7. This sent it to the 10th inning. The 2-2. This is up high for Anthony Volpe. Is this going to split the gap? It will not. Johnny on the spot at center field is Lane Thomas. As this brings us to the bottom of the 4th. Yankees with 4 hits, scoring 3 runs. Guardians 3 hits, scoring 2 runs. Neither team has an error yet. We don't know if one's going to come. Bottom of 4th, it's next. So the Penguins on the power play in the meantime. I don't think it's going to mean much for them. The Sharks, they get one back. Luke Cunnin on the board for San Jose for the first time. Carl Grundstrom and Cody Ceci, 2 new acquisitions for San Jose. They get the assist on the Cunnin goal.
You know, Alec, as a Penguins fan, you may not want to hear this, but I think you being who you are, you've seen it too. Dude, it's time for the Penguins to hit the big red button and reset. It's time.
Silently, I'm going towards that acceptance phase where it's time for the rebuild button, but as long as Crosby and the boys are here, I don't think it's happening anytime soon.
No, And really, look, you may have had a chance. Listen, you may have had a chance before, but the fact is, Ron Hextall destroyed what could have been the second part. I mean, look at it this way, right? First move, you keep Brandon Tanev. You have a legitimate scoring option alongside Letang, Crosby, and Malkin.
Mm-hmm. Jared McCann, too.
Yeah, him too. So, there was opportunity, but, again, I know, right? Pittsburgh is extremely loyal to its stars, so no one's going to get traded even though they should. I mean, geez, Crosby. You say that. The Penguins say that Crosby is open to be traded, and you'll have every contender in the league chomping at the bit.
That would be the day that hockey Twitter would lose their minds.
Right.
And by extension, the day that hell freezes over. Nice placement for Luis Gil. Top right corner. On Andres Jimenez. 172 batting average this postseason. But as we go back to the... Whoa! Jimenez almost got hit on the knees. Just jumped out the way that time, but it's a 1-1 count. So both Tim Hill and Tim Meza are warming up in the bullpen. Meza acquired from the Toronto Blue Jays, who were fire sellers at the deadline. They dealt off not only Meza as Jimenez swung and missed on a slider, it went upstairs. Not only Meza, but also Danny Jansen and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. They were part of those trade pieces in which Toronto dealt at the deadline. Lynx and Liberty tied 61 all with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. The 1-2. High fly ball to right, but it's foul. It's on to right field. So the goal, instead of being credited to Brian Dumoulin, it is instead credited to Leo Carlson, who has his second goal of the year. His other one was an overtime winner against the Utah Hockey Club, who are rumored to be later named the Utah Yetis, but it's not been confirmed just yet. Though behind closed doors, it may be just as well be confirmed.
Yeah. I think, if I had to put something on it, I think the Ducks, I don't know if they make the playoffs, but they're going to be in contention for them. I think this year it's time.
Yeah, 2-1-0 start can attest to it. They had a hot start last year, but they got to have all the healthy bodies to attest to it. Greg Cronin is building a culture in Anaheim. And even for the infamous players coach reputation that Dallas Eakins has, oh, that's a nice bunt there. It's the throw on time? Yes. Easy out there for the Yankees to put away Austin Hedges for 2 up and 2 away after Jimenez struck out. So the Ducks are building a culture in SoCal and Anaheim with Greg Cronin. No matter how you view this roster, it feels like Cronin can be one of those coaches that can get the most out of his players.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they need to have everyone quick.
In a weird way, I feel like Cronin, and tell me if you agree with this, he's a more mellowed out version of John Tortorella. You know how Tortorella had that uncanny ability to take players to take rosters that you looked at as just cast-offs and castaways, or as I call them, skeleton crews, and turn them into contenders?
In a way, you can steal with that. Popped up, it's a shallow center. Who's going to get it? It will be Volpe. It's his turn to get the final out of this 4th inning. So it's still 3-2 Yanks headed to the 5th in this best of 7, game 4. So the Ducks, as we speak of them, yeah, they can be one of those teams in which they're going to be scrappy. And they'll always be in it no matter how much you count them out. With Greg Cronin, Leo Carlson picked 2nd overall in his draft right after Connor Bedard, and you'd figure that this could be a draft in which we would not expect this, but previously, the expectations were that Trevor Zegras would be the face of the franchise. Anaheim's plans shifted from building around Zegras to building around Leo Carlson and Mason McTavish, because Zegras is more an offense-only player. Carlson and McTavish are more of the complete package.
Right.
So,
by the way, remind me again, what were the moves made by the Ducks in the offseason? Did they do anything notable?
It wasn't a lot for Anaheim, but if you look at the Ducks, in the past 2 years, in the previous offseason, they did get Alex Killorn and Radko Gudas on the team onto slight overpayments, but the Ducks this offseason, they traded for Robbie Fabry. That's their big notable offseason move. And they got Cutter Gauthier to a full-time NHL spot this offseason.
That's right.
Oh, Brian Dumoulin, I almost forgot. He was signed to a 1-year deal. He's more of a rental for them, no matter if it is just this year or if he's going to be used as trade deadline bait. You have James Reimer. He previously was on the Buffalo Sabres, but he was placed on waivers. Anaheim claimed him off waivers because John Gibson is hurt. So they're starting Lucas Dostal, who's on the final year of his deal. It is a 2-year deal, not his entry-level contract as that was previously. This entry-level contract was signed with Bob Murray as the Ducks GM. Pat Verbeek extended him to a 2-year deal. So it's a solid core that Anaheim has between Carlson, Zegras, McTavish, and you have a solidified second line of Frank Vetrano, Ryan Strome, and Troy Terry. You got Vetrano and Strome. You convinced them to get Pride away from the Rangers, and you get them onto Anaheim, and successfully, you meshed the both of them together, and they're still going on nicely at SoCal. Kate Smith warming up, Eli Morgan in. And immediately Morgan delivers a first pitch strike onto the top side. 193 ERA in 32 regular season games. In 3 innings, he struck out 5 this postseason. This next pitch was upstairs. Top of the 5th, as he is pitching to Austin Wells with Alex Verdugo on deck. The 1-1. And Wells pumped and missed. 1-2 count. I apologize for some hiccups. But Luis Gill, he daps up Aaron Boone. As his day concludes, now a decision to be made. If you send out Hill or Meza for this 5th inning. Wells homer into second. Took a lot of time for this next pitch. On the way. That's fouled back on the fastball. So this Guardians bullpen among the league's best. I believe they are the league's best, but you would not believe that with the postseason that they're having. It's just up and down. They've had their highlights, but also their lowlights. The 1-2. And that's slashed to right. And that's fouled. just ever so slightly did it go beyond the foul line. And it's official. The Carolina Hurricanes win 4-1 over the Pittsburgh Penguins with 4 unanswered goals.
Yep. I gotta tell you, man, my Blues, they may be 3-2, but, oh boy.
Cardiac nature from the Blues.
Cardiac nature, and they are, how do I put this? They're not going to, they are not a particularly high-powered offensive team. Like, at all.
Middle of the pack, you would say. Oh, here's a bouncer. This goes to Torres. Or actually, Jimenez. Makes the throw to Naylor. I confused the two teams up. 2 up and 2 away after Wells sat down. And that will sit down Verdugo as well. So Morgan's doing the job. So the Blues, speaking of them, not a high-powered offensive team. And with Torrey Krug out for the year because of the growing arthritis concerns on his legs, or his knees, I meant. So that puts in more pressure on the defensive side, but Philip Broberg may be slotting in nicely in St. Louis.
Broberg is doing well. From the limited sample size I've seen, he's fitting in well so far. But, Alec, look, the Blues have talent, but there is one thing that is going to kill them. And it is the fact that they still seemingly have not fixed the issues on the power play. It is still so bad.
Whew. Gotta improve on that. And I didn't realize, as I'll get to this in a moment, here's a 2-1 pitch. Oh, friendly call. Changeup 78. It looked to be outside on the top line. But Eli Morgan gets the friendly call as it was upstairs. Evens the count at 2. And it's Gleyber Torres. 1-2. I apologize if I mix you up. And this one spiked to the dirt. It makes the count full. It's Austin Hedges doing his job in his second stint with the Guardians. Won a World Series last year with the Texas Rangers. It's the backup catcher to Jonah Heim. And timeout called. And I didn't realize, Ian, that Quo Julian is an assistant coach on Drew Bannister's staff.
I didn't know that either until just now.
Yeah, it's just weird to find out that the former longtime Bruins head coach will be an assistant coach on the Blues. Payoff pitch. Popped up. Fly ball to center field. Lane Thomas there. And he'll get it. 1-2, 3 and out. In this 5th inning as we go to the bottom with the Guardians at the bat. So that they did their job defensively. But to see how they do at the plate.
Yeah, there is, to put it simply, yeah, the Blues are falling into the same trap with their power play that they did last season. They are so selective with their shots, and they do something on power plays that will tick me off every single time. They will finish power plays with no shots. You heard that right. They will have no shots on power plays. And again, the point of a power play is not to look for that one perfect shot. You need the best power. The point of power plays are to pepper the goalie, pepper the other defense with shots. That's how you break them down. And the Blues don't do that.
Find the perfect angle. And execute with the, or should I say, execute with the best passing plays to set it up. Get someone open at the bumper.
Yeah, or you know what? And if it doesn't look like, and if the penalty kill defense is not giving you that, that angle that you want, just start shooting. Like seriously, what's the worst? The worst that can happen is you don't score a goal, but you've slapped the puck 8 times toward the goal. That's 8 attempts.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that's plaguing them is on anything, the puck is not landing on their sticks. They're fumbling the puck. The passes aren't crisp, and it sets up turnovers. And who else but Jordan? I mean, Jordan Binnington has to be a wall most nights for them to even have a chance.
It's not sustainable at this current pace. There are pieces there, but you gotta have a gel. And it feels like it's... Well, as we have Tim Hill at the mound, so Aaron Boone going with his first reliever. The one that he had originally warming up at the bullpen, Hill, he's on to the mound up against Stephen Kwan. So he's going with Hill over Tim Meza. 0-1 count after Kwan fouled this to right. Strike 2 on the left line. On a sinker at 89. Fit that one perfectly for Hill. It feels that the power play production has gone down ever since Jim Montgomery was hired by the Bruins as their head coach, as we have a timeout called by Kwan. But Montgomery, before he was hired by the Bruins, he ran the power play on the Blues in 22, and that worked to perfection.
Yeah.
Bouncing ball, this goes to second. Torres picks it up and throws to Rizzo for the first out. And now, this early in this game, pinch hitter David Fry. He is coming in, the hero of Game 5. If you have signs of Christmas trees with 43 and 6. We like our Yankees Fry, one of those says. I'm a Fry guy. We like our Yankees Fry. Some of these signs are creative here in Cleveland. And it's not just with his dramatic home run. Fry delivers on the first pitch. That sends Soto back. Soto, leaping grab. Underhanded as he extended it up high. And he puts away Fry. No French fries here in Cleveland. That's exactly how you want to do it if you're Juan Soto. Excellent at the plate. But how about this defensive play? He jumped up and extended it fully with his catching glove. As a swing and a miss from Jose Ramirez. Can turn things around with one swing. 0 for 1, but he had a sac fly in the first inning. Scored in Stephen Kwan by then. That got the Guardians within 1. Wow. That slider nearly hit Ramirez. 84 on that pitch. Still 1-0 Ducks. Lucas Dostal has a 16-save shutout by this point with 2 minutes to go in the first period. 2-1. On the fastball, so it was outside left. Yeah, that's correct. 16-save shutout with 2 minutes to go in the first period. But that's in and out of the glove of Wells as Ramirez swung low. Jay Cousins warming up. So Tim Meza not in the plans right now for Aaron Boone. So if Hill gets out of this inning, that could put Cousins in for the next one. And Ramirez drives this left, fouled it. That was on the ground against righties in his career, 286 batting average. And against lefties, equally as productive, 276. Retracted, full count. Still, it's very tight. Too close to call between the Liberty and the Lynx. The Lynx are using that air timeout. Payoff pitch. Big swing and a miss on a foul tip. Or, yeah, it was a foul tip. It was not fielded by Wells. So it remains a full count. So I thought it was the put away. But Hill will have to go again. Ramirez readies up. Judge at center field, Soto right. Bouncing ball, this will reach Volpe. Is the play going to be there? No! Chisholm could not pick it up on time as this bouncing ball was a tough play. Right near at the same spot where Chris Bryant had the final out of the 2016 World Series. Chisholm tried to pick it up with his bare hand. Could not do it. It went off the tip of his fingertips and could not throw it. And Kwan pointed it out. Infield base hit for Jose Ramirez. It is not scored as an error. 72-70 Liberty. They're trying to clinch the WNBA championship tonight, which will be their first in franchise history. First pitch. Big swing and a miss for who I believe on the play is Josh Naylor. He is batting fifth. Big name Naylor brother here at Progressive Field. Ball one, that's outside to the left. Sinker 89. Minnesota ties it. 72 all at Minneapolis St. Paul. We're playing this at Target Center, the home of the Timberwolves. The 1-1. That's driven low on a sinker. 89 miles an hour. That gets the count to 2-1. And we're at the halfway mark of this fourth quarter between the Liberty and the Lynx. That was Kayla McBride tying it up. Less than 5 minutes to go. The 2-1. Oh, Naylor fouls off himself. And that might have hit the helmet of Austin Wells as well. Also the helmet of Naylor, maybe. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Yeesh. Oh yeah, that bat hit his helmet. Not the ball. The bat. And we have time called here. 2-2 as Naylor is getting his gloves readjusted for this timeout. And the Ducks make it 2-0 with Ryan Strome. We'll see if Ramirez can get things going or Naylor. It's Josh Naylor trying to get the Guardians to lead. No pickoff attempt. Took too long to develop for Tim Hill as Ramirez gets back safely at first. So 4:48, the Liberty used their first timeout. Gonna have a live look of Game 4 of the Liberty as this pitch. And that is a big strikeout down low. That ends the fifth. So Tim Hill leaves Jose Ramirez stranded at first base of a big sidearm flamethrower towards the bottom side. In the sixth, to begin things will be Soto, Judge, and Chisholm. Oh, another one of those Hank the Wing Buffalo commercials with Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, I wonder what the French fry sales would be like at Buffalo Wild Wings in Cleveland if David Fry hits another heroic home run. It's still a 3-2 game here. They go on a live look-in, so they're still at a commercial break. So it's 72 all Liberty and Lynx. Leading the way is Jonquil Jones with 18 points for the Liberty. 16 for Leonie Fibich as well. Brianna Stewart with 11, 8 rebounds and 3 steals. For Minnesota, Caleb McBride leads the way with 16 points with 3 assists. 5 of 13 shooting, however. Courtney Williams is not too far behind with 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists. Nafisa Kalir, 14 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals. She's been efficient all around in this very tight contest. Game 1 taken by Minnesota in an overtime thriller with their never say die attitude. They took that one 95-93 as Breanna Stewart missed the game-tying layup to send it to a second overtime. The Liberty get an 80-66 win in Game 2. Game 3 was the Liberty as well, winning 80-77 in a tighter game. Now to the wire. It's very hard to predict who is going to be WNBA Finals MVP. And so far, for the Liberty, top performers, so far, Game 1, it was Jonquel Jones in Game 1. Game 2 for the Liberty, top performer, it was Lainey Hamilton. In Game 3, in the 80-77 victory at Target Field, Breanna Stewart. So it's a different player each time. Not a clear winner of the WNBA Finals MVP. Was this a challenge? I think it was a challenge on a foul. So it's Breanna. So the Liberty are challenging this as this is not a foul as we get back onto the 6th inning with the Yankees at the plate. So Breanna Stewart. And this first pitch is downstairs, no swing, as Kate Smith is in. 191 ERA through 74 games played. The postseason, 15 strikeouts. He's allowed just 2 hits. This one, upstairs. And a fastball at 94 miles an hour. Thus, you're using your high leverage relievers. So this is actually a coach's challenge by the Liberty with 4:50 to go. Officials trying to get the final verdict. Soto fouls this to left. Packed house here at Minnesota. As the Lynx, they take the court again. So fans cheering as the challenge is unsuccessful. It is a foul on Breanna Stewart. So the call is upheld, and Stewart gets back to defend. So that is exactly what happened. She grabbed the Lynx player by the arm. It's now 3-1 count. This one upstairs. Thank you, cover for the final 450. Inbound. And it gets there. The layup is smoked. Here's Stewart. She's been electric so far for the Liberty. Can she deliver another big moment? And a lost ball. Minnesota's back the other way. Carlton gave it away. Loses this one over to Davis. Runner at first, by the way. In Cleveland as Aaron Judge is on board as Soto draws the walk. So Ionescu is deflected up by Williams on the pass. This one doesn't go. Rebound by Minnesota. Charging up for the far side. Down for the lane. Give and go. What a block. Breanna Stewart has done this again. She's open. Liftoff. Short. Minnesota gets the rebound as they go the other way. Williams will look to the inside. Wide open. Minnesota takes the lead. 74-72 as Courtney Williams set it up. Lynx lead 2. Chance of defense as Alana Smith was on the receiving end. And this one grounded. Tough play from third to first in time. Judge is punched out. And you have runners at first and second. The Judge actually punched out. Chisholm punched out. One up and one away. Soto and Judge are in scoring position. Off in the middle. Kalir. Triple teamed. Trying to find someone open. Does get someone open. Extra pass. Here's the free for the left corner. Got it! Minnesota! Their never say die attitude. Looking to prevail. They're on a 7-0 run. On the top side for Giancarlo Stanton on the fastball. Kicked out. Oh, that flamethrower. And New York is within 3. Swing and a miss from Stanton. Biggest play of the season is Fabich. Makes a big free. On the right side, Williams delivers. No wide open free to be had. And McBride sinks it. Frees coming in bunches for Kayla McBride. She's up to 19. 1-2 count for Stanton. And the layup goes on the other end. 80-77. This one driven to deep left field. And goodbye and good night. Giancarlo Stanton. 3-run home run in the 6th inning. Yankees 6-2. Final 2 minutes of Game 4. Minnesota trying to force a Game 5 back in Brooklyn. Ionescu on the left corner. Gets it right back. McBride defending. Shays at the logo. Now steps up. Watched by Williams. Gets it off. Rims out. Rebound loose. Minnesota scoops it. Courtney Williams will have it from the near side as the Yankees players are dapping each other up. Williams for the logo. 90 seconds to go. Williams has one player going back. That's defeats Collier. Williams gets it off. Too far. Stewart grabs it. Does she have a post for the Liberty to tie this game up and possibly send it to overtime again? Stewart to the inside. And the dominance. That works on the hook and ladder. And one. A chance to tie the game. Yankees lead 6-2. You get the next reliever is Jonquil Jones. With her dominance, pushing through for the Liberty. She wants to win it.
Oh, by the way, Yankees up 6-2 because Giancarlo Stanton did the thing again.
So I noticed. So it's 80-0 for Jonquil Jones. Tying this one up. So, with Minnesota using a timeout, that gives us the reset for this. In this back and forth Game 4, big shot Carlton delivering again for Minnesota. Kayla McBride, 19 points, Carlton with 10. And she has a knack for showing up in the clutch. If this gets to a Game 5, I may consider doing a WNBA Finals Game 5. If we ever get there. But that's also if we see either one of these series come to an early end. It could be tomorrow for the Yankees. And it could be on Sunday for the Dodgers. So in this postseason run, for the Minnesota Lynx as they're in the finals, in such a case for this WNBA Finals run, if we need a Game 5, this will be on the 20th, 2 days from now, back at Brooklyn. Back in here, McBride, Williams, Collier, Smith, and Carlton. That's their main 5 on the court for Minnesota. Tim Herron's in for Cleveland. He is taking the place as this one's fouled back. Anthony Rizzo there as we get back underway here from Minnesota. Courtney Williams draws the one-on-one. A screen from Carlton, or Smith rather. To the inside for Smith. Smith give and go. Onto the bottom right corner on that strike one. McBride misses. Collier saves it but gives it away. Here's Stewart. Give and go for Jones with 50. 45 seconds to go. Stewart gets it back. And there's a strike free for Anthony Rizzo. To the inside, Jonquil Jones. Can she deliver? This one is in and out. Stewart can't bury it, but she gets it back. Ionescu with 30. She'll give it over to Stewart. Brianna Stewart. Does she get the switch? She does. 20 to go. Shot clock at 2. She gets it off in time. Off the backboard. And a shot clock violation here. Line drive to right. Down. Base hit for Anthony Volpe. And Minnesota still has life. Two of these games have been very tight contests. 18.3 on the clock. One shot can change it here. And a timeout taken by the Lynx. Wells gets strike one down for the middle. So a couple of chances in it throughout. Strong from Ross Johnston and Brian Dumoulin before the first period ended. And this pickoff attempt was too long. Minnesota with a chance to win it here. "6-2 Yankees," by the way, as Wells sees a fastball, a blazing one. 1-1 count, it evens it up on a second pitch ball from Tim Herron. Cade Smith had a very bad outing. Allowed 2 hits, 3 earned runs. And this is a bouncer. This will be fielded at second base by Brian Rocchio. This goes to the middle of the 6th. So game 1 saw the Lynx deliver an overtime stunner, 95-93. The Liberty bank shot on a big-time free from the logo by Sabrina Ionescu for an 80-77 final. Game 5 is necessary Sunday at 8. These are the top 2 seeds in the WNBA. And its fans' towels are waving. The house is packed. The Lynx want to send this back. So, this will be an inbound from Bridget Carlton. Ring number 6 gets it off to Williams. Williams, she's back deep with 15. Shot clock is turned off. Williams holding on to it. Does she begin the drive? 8 seconds. Williams holding on to this one. Williams gets it off. Bouncer. The rebound tipped. And it's a foul. It's a foul. The Lynx can take the lead here with 2 shots. Lainey Hamilton gets one her direction. And the Lynx with an opportunity for game 5. A hand right on Bridget Carlton. Ionescu backs up on Carlton. The last thing that she needs. And this could prompt the Liberty to use a timeout. First shot. Good. Big shot. Carlton strikes again on the free throws. To extend the season, the second one. That's 2. 82-80. Liberty used their first timeout with 2 to go. And at this point, a 3 to win it, a 2 to tie it. 2 seconds remain. Trying to force a winner-take-all scenario. Everything on the line here for both Minnesota and New York. Neither team has a foul to give. And each team will reset timeout. The Liberty, they have a timeout their own. Deep into the fourth quarter we are. and everyone on their feet here in Minnesota. Yankees lead 6-2 thanks to Giancarlo Stanton. The homers off of Cade Smith. Jake Cousins in. He has just pitched a third of an inning, getting one out, issued a walk. This is his second postseason appearance this year. 2.37 ERA in the regular season. 5 home runs allowed. 2 seconds to go. Williams back to defend. First pitch is a cold strike on a slider. On that bottom left corner. Williams jumping up. And Ionescu for the championship. Game 5 at Brooklyn. On Sunday, as a swing and a miss from Lane Thomas. Game 5 at Brooklyn. The Lynx will not go down without a fight. And this one way out on a slider. 1-2 count. To a big struggle in game 1 for Lane Thomas. He has bounced back with purpose for Cleveland. The 1-2. Thomas lines this one. A bouncer. That is immediately caught by Torres. One up and one away here. Jake Cousins 4 games in and 4 pitches in. The never say die Minnesota Lynx. They force a game 5. Will Brennan. He's now up. He's the pinch hitter now. Mal meeting here for Cousins. So Brennan taking the place of Daniel Schneemann. Brennan can fit into the outfield. John Kensey Noel as well. So Fry is now the new DH. Brennan may likely be the new right fielder. Schneemann can also start at right field. He can also start at the infield as well. Utility players. Good for you to have. 6-2 lead. Ducks lead 2-0 at the start of the second period. 10 o'clock Eastern time, we're at the bottom of the 6th. Cleveland tried to come back here. That's going low on a slider at 80 miles an hour. Joey Cantillo warming up, who he has notably struggled in game 1. Notably, it's had a lot. What am I doing? Notably allowed 2 runs on wild pitches. 1-1 to count. On that foul ball to right, Tim Mesa warming up. He is back on the Yankees' plans. He had a rest for a moment as he was pitching for a while inside the bullpen. Game 5 is tomorrow night. The 1-1. Sky to the left, but it's fouled. It was a sinker. 1-2 count. So, a lot of lopsided scores here, and it feels like this has been the trend in the LCS with these blowouts as of late. And as downstairs, slider 81. It's now a 2-1 count. So now it's a 2-2 count for Brennan against Cousins. And a swing and a miss. That'll get Brennan to sit down on his first sequence. Does it get John Kensey Noel at right field for the rest of this game? Could Big Christmas deliver again? This big swing was right there on target. First pitch for Jimenez. Big sinker and a miss. It was upstairs. 94 miles an hour, 0-2 on the count. Flew out and struck out previously. 5-2 Jets over the Sharks right now as Jimenez. This is splitting the gap between second and short. It is a base hit, and Jimenez on board. Needed that. Casey Middlestat makes it a 1-goal game for Colorado, 57 seconds in. Nikolai Kovalenko and Kel Makar, the assists. And Middlestat acquired the deadline in a 1-for-1 swap between them and Buffalo. Sent Bowen Byram to the Sabres. And Friday nicely with the Avs. That ball slid right by Jake Cousins as this sparks a Mal meeting. So, Bo Naylor, a pinch hitter. He's going to be hitting for Hedges as the new batter. So, Hedges did not have a hit in this game. 0 for 1 with a walk. A bunt that was grounded out in the 4th inning. Game 3 dramatics. Maybe the rearview mirrors. Hedges ground out to Luis Gil. Not eligible for a win, as he has pitched 4 innings rather. So Cousins, 11 pitches in, going up against Bo Naylor, who is the pinch hitter now. Filling in for Hedges. That's downstairs. 1-0 count. Right on Bo Naylor. Brian Rocchio on deck. The 1-0. That's inside. Bottom left on the slider. Take strike 1 right down at that spot. 1-1 count. It's even up. Big strikeout pitcher. To say here is Cousins delivers on the 1-1. Did he go? They're checking at third base? No. 2-1. Was downstairs by a bit. Not by much though. A little tired here. I admit. 2-1 the count. Pitch. Oh my goodness. That almost hit Naylor. He just got out of the way at that one. Yes, he reacted quick enough. Dodged his arm there. It's now a 3-1 count. Best count to have if you're a hitter. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That was to the left of the zone. Probably should not have chased after that one. Instead, draw the walk, if we're being honest. Rocchio, if Bo Naylor reaches. Full count throw. And Naylor swings and misses on a slider. That ends the 6th inning. And honestly, how tired I am, I gotta stretch. I'll be out there for the meantime. We'll be right back in just a moment for the 7th inning. Yankees at the plate next. great ballpark here at Progressive Field. We go to the 7th inning. And some adjustments. Will Brennan at right field. Bo Naylor and a catcher. So no John Kensey the well right now for Cleveland. They decided to go with Brennan. Joey Cantillo. While 3 walks this postseason. Ball 1 as this was downstairs. Notice he was previously infamous for allowing 2 runs on wild pitches in game 1 of this series. The 1-0. Oh, that's just downstairs for a 2-0 count. Long reliever here for Cleveland as Alex Verdugo is at the plate. The Yankees use the long ball to perfection. 2-0 pitch. Ball 3 as this is just downstairs. 3 straight fastballs for Cantillo. Let's go to somewhere different. He likes that fastball a lot. 3-0. On the bottom right corner. He went to the fastball again. Advised that he would not outgo that fastball one more time, but you know, could be a moment. 3-1. Outside. And Verdugo will draw the walk. Cantillo gets him on board. Gleyber Torres at the plate now. Cole Perfetti scores. Fabian Zetterlund answers 19 seconds later. Perfetti from Alex Iafallo and Vladislav Nemestikov on the power play. That's his ball 1 on Torres on a changeup. Zetterlund from Tyler Toffoli and Michael Granlund on the response. The 1-0. Bouncing ball. Could this turn 2? The first play is there. The second one, there too. A 6-4 free double play to take us to the final out of the top of the 7th inning. Rocchio to Jimenez to Naylor on a good connection as Verdugo's punched out. And Naylor keeps his foot on the plate for the second out. Nice double play right on time. And that was just before the Torres could step foot at first base. Juan Soto up. So Stephen Vogt tips his hat. And a curveball as Soto got out of the way of that one. He thought that was coming towards him. 78 miles an hour. The 2 Gold Glovers out to the defensive field for the Guardians. Soto. Ball 1. That was downstairs for Soto, who homered in the first inning. Yet to see if he can deliver some more magic for the Yankees and the Bronx Bombers. The ball 2 as this was outside again. So 6-2, the lead. 2-1 the count. The pitch. Big swing and a miss from Soto. Had to backtrack just a bit. Wanted to go for that long ball. That's been prevailing for the Yanks in this game. The long ball. They've hit 3 home runs. A 2-run shot by Soto. 1-run shot by Wells. 3-run shot by Giancarlo Stanton. 2-2 is the count. The pitch. And at bottom right, Soto's punched out. He'll sit down as we still have some hats of Chief Wahoo out there. Some Indians gear, some Guardians gear. Same franchise. Bottom of the 7th. When we return. This crowd is rather silent here in the 7th inning. And the Jets, they made 7 free. Cole Perfetti with another power play goal. His second of this game, second of the season. As there's a swing and a miss on a slider, 80 miles an hour from Rocchio. 80 miles an hour. Cousins is still going. Neil Pionk, Vladislav Namestnikov the assists. A 1 count. Last score was Giancarlo Stanton's home run to left center, 4 feet out. Rocchio flew out and popped out. Only other final score was this 12-6 swap from the Mets victory in Game 5. I don't know if this is going to start a comeback for New York or if this is delaying the inevitable. You have yet to see who the starting pitchers are for Game 6. One count for Cousins. The pitch is upstairs at 94 on the sinker. Tomorrow's starting pitchers, Carlos Rodon for the Yankees and Tanner Bybee for the Guardians. Shamanai will start Game 6 for the Mets. Not known who the Dodgers will start. The 2-1. Upstairs again on a fastball. 3-1 on the count. Don't know if it's going to be a bullpen game or if Walker Buehler is going to pitch. Cousins pitched a scoreless 6th inning. And Rocchio, he draws the walk as it's downstairs. Slider at 81 miles an hour. Does that prompt Aaron Boone to move up and get to the next pitcher in relief? Stephen Kwan is moving in. Back to the top of the order as Clay Holmes is warming up, being the setup man for the closer, Luke Weaver. First pitch for Kwan is fit on the right line on the slider. 81 miles an hour. The time around is Kwan walked, base hit, ground out on his previous 3 A-plate appearances. The 0-1. Fit to the right again. This time he switched to sinker. So the Jets are just running out clock here in this 3rd period. Their fans being treated to a win at Canada Life Center. 1-2 is Kwan. Facing the 0-2. Driven low, that's a block there from Austin Wells. Makes it a 1-2 count. The Yankees trying to get back to the World Series for the first time in 15 years. It was their last World Series appearance with Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera. Cousins readies up, 25 pitches in. Delivers. Fouls this one to left. In that year, the Yankees defeated the defending champion Philadelphia Phillies in 6 games. The Yankees managed by Joe Girardi, the Phillies managed by Charlie Manuel. Pedro Martinez, Hall of Famer on Philadelphia that year. The 1-2. Stephen Kwan lines this one up to right field. It is short of Juan Soto. Rocchio on his way to 3rd. And Kwan, that throw may have gotten away, but it goes back for Austin Wells. Kwan will have to stay put at 3rd. And the Guardians in striking distance. Is there going to be a mound meeting? Or is there going to be a new reliever? This one played at right field on the line drive. Went for a base hit. Rocchio saw it, took off, and ran with it. Went to 3rd with ease. He stopped, stayed put at 3rd. A slow walk to the mound. As there's a point to the bullpen, and Aaron Boone is going to Clay Holmes. Right back in just a moment, where Holmes will be pitching. is now getting interesting here in Cleveland. Quay Holmes coming into place of Jake Cousins. 7 games, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts this postseason for Holmes. Been one of their top relievers. Though he lost the closer spot to Luke Weaver. Though Holmes fired this one on a sinker on for deep left field. And Bo Naylor tying this one up with David Fry. He and Bo Naylor celebrating. Keep the faith, what the sign says. The old Cleveland Indians shirt. The old Chief Wahoo logo. Big swing and a miss downstairs. There's a first pitch strike on David Fry, the hero of Game 3. Could he do it again? It's time to bring Cleveland within 1. Very fast runner at first. Downstairs this time around, sinker 95. The 2009 Yankees team got the core 4 of Derek Jeter, Mariano Rivera, Jorge Posada, and Andy Pettitte. Also had some other key players like Hideki Matsui, their DH that year. The 1-1 downstairs, sinker 96. Matsui won World Series MVP. In 2009, the Guardians, they want to believe in the C. See in their low tying run is on deck. Nobody out, runners at the corners. 2-1. Inside at bottom left. 2-2 count. It evens it up. And also that 2009 Yankees team, including a rookie Mark Melancon and Kevin Cash, who was the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays. The 2-2. Strike free. It fell onto the top left corner. Holmes does the job. And a breaking ball. And Fry will sit down. There'll be no heroics for him this time around. And who will be the hero for the Guardians if there is any? Steven Kwanzaa first. Brian Rocchio at third. Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez now up. Tying run on deck. That is Josh Naylor. That's if Ramirez reaches. Base hit, a sac fly. 2 home runs already this postseason for Ramirez. Ramirez with a bouncer, foul territory. On for right field. And 8-3 Jets the final score of Vladislav Nemestikov getting the final goal. Good setup for the Yankees in this spot, with Holmes being the first reliever. Ramirez swung and missed. Big slider 87. He's now facing an 0-2 count. Massive follow-through swing for Ramirez. Here's the 0-2 pitch. No swing. They checked it for a moment, but it was clear that Ramirez did not go. Holmes looks to first. Does not use a pickoff. This pitch, downstairs on a sinker. 96 miles an hour. Can't get a read that time around, and now it evens the count 2-2. So as Holmes readies up, gets ready. The 2-2. And this one in and out. Didn't move anybody. Full count. Danger territory for Quay Holmes. As after 2 strikes, he's thrown 3 straight balls. Slider, 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 sinker, slider. So 4 to 5 pitches for Holmes to Ramirez were sliders. The exception, a sinker on the 4th pitch. 10 pitches already for Holmes. Here's the payoff. Foul to left. That's on a sinker. Stays at a full count. 1 for 8 this postseason for Ramirez with runners in scoring position. The first inning was the first hit of the division series for the Guardians, where Ramirez got it. Roque at third, Kwan at first. Fry sits down. Do this again. Fry grounds this. It's fair. It's who scored a run. Stephen Kwan on his way to third. He'll be stopped there, and the throw back to home plate will cut off Stephen Kwan. Jose Ramirez drives in a run for the Guardians, and his lead is cut in half. Jose. That's the chant going on in Cleveland. Everyone's on their feet. And the biggest hit for the Guardians in this game brings them to within 3. They've been waiting for this moment for the Guardians all around. Players, fans, coaches, even the front office. They were waiting for this moment as Ramirez has hit the most doubles in Cleveland postseason history with 10. Not only does he drive in a run, but also it brings the Guardians in a position where they can tie the game up. As Stephen Vogt, you want to know about the number of mound visits. The umpire is talking to Wells now. The Yankees have 1 mound visit remaining. Tim Mays and Mark Leiter Jr., the 2 pitchers warming up at the bullpen. So Aaron Boone is down to having his pitching coach, Matt Blake. Matt Blake is down to his final mound visit. 1-0 count. 13 pitches in for Holmes. Gotta wonder if Holmes is going to have this be his last batter that he faces. Maybe. This is it's a brand new ball game. 1-0 pitch. Driven to right center field. This may score 2. It bounces off the wall. 1 run scored. And here comes Jose Ramirez. The Guardians are within 1. Josh Naylor. And the place goes crazy. The sinker works. As Josh Naylor's delivered on the run that gets them to a within 1. All the way to right center. And Lane Thomas is up next. He can get the Guardians the lead. Ramirez and Naylor coming through in the clutch. The 2 of them right on cue. Here in the 7th inning as Thomas with Holmes staying in the game. First pitch is at the left. Sinker 97. Naylor represents the tying run. Thomas represents the go-ahead run. But Lane Thomas was 0 for 2 with a walk. He can pull through for Cleveland in making things interesting. The 1-0 downstairs on a sweeper. 84 miles an hour. Thomas readies up for the 2-0 pitch. Outside. It's a sweeper 85 miles an hour. Makes it count 3-0. And in position where Thomas can get on board. Could he do it? But Holmes has to get out of this jam. Bottom of the 7th, and Cleveland storming back. There's a strike. It's a sinker in 96. 3-1 count now for Thomas. A walk and a strikeout already. Will Brennan on deck. It's not Big Christmas. Swinging to right field. Hitters count. Here's the 3-1. To the left. Thomas on board. At first base on the walk. Another patient at bat for Lane Thomas. First and second occupied. Josh Naylor at second. Lane Thomas up first. Ace calling for Mark Leiter Jr. Holmes is done. So we'll be right back. The Yankees get themselves right in front of a dangerous area. The Guardians coming alive here in the 7th inning. We'll return. Christmas stories here in Ohio, in Cleveland. In Game 3, it was John Kensey Noel who tied it. Can the Guardians pull out in front? Lane Thomas and Josh Naylor on board at first and second. Double play is still inactive. The double play is still intact and available for the Yankees to use if they're quick enough. And going up against Big Christmas, Will Brennan. Originally scheduled to be due up. John Kensey Noel on his way is now at the plate looking to deliver another heroic effort. This time up against Mark Leiter Jr. 4.50 ERA in the regular season, 60 games played. 58 innings pitched, 86 strikeouts, 22 walks. 248 batting average. This is his first postseason game that he is going to be playing. Tying run is at second base. Go ahead, run at first. And that's down. That's a breaking ball. Started this year with the Cubs. So for John Kensey Noel, an ultimate turnaround moment. The 1-0. Inside on the curveball. 73 miles an hour. It's inside. So Leiter start this year on the Cubs. Acquired by the Yankees later on as Noel skies this to deep left field. Feliz Navidad! or not. The catch at the wall. I thought it was a home run. Slightly off the edge of it. Put a hook on it. Verdugo was able to run it down the wall. Wow. Oh my goodness, it faked me out. I had to be patient though. Noel almost had this. A heck of a run and catch from Verdugo. Did not take any chance. It does move the runners to second and third. It leads the runners at second and first. Naylor at second. Thomas at first. Andres Jimenez, 1 for 3. Have a base hit. Tying run at second base. John Kensington sitting down at the moment. Mark Leiter Jr. The 1-0. Inside, top line. On for the curveball. So I thought this was another moment for Noel, but this time it's a couple feet shy. Fake me out. Don't do that to me. Oh, 1-2 for Jimenez. Fouls it to himself. Bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. So Holmes has made this into a cardiac moment. If the Guardians do take the lead, I'm not saying anything is guaranteed, but your best hope is Quase. The 1-2. Spiked. 2-2 now for Jimenez. 1 for 3. Another big hit can be big for here. There's a part of a keypad that's loose onto the field. So it came in and out. That was a very weird sequence. It did pop out from Austin Wells and the umpires to make sure that it's back intact for Wells. He's going to receive the signal. To the pitcher for Mark Leiter Jr. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Jimenez swings and misses on the splitter. I'll have him sit down. Yankees still lead, but the Guardians are fretting the attack. It's a 1-run game, 6-5. Thanks to Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor. Top of the 8th. Yankees look to hold on when we come back. 8th inning is now here. The Guardians have made this interesting. This series has all sorts of theatrics and a very back and forth AOCS. John Kenzie Noel fills in at left field. And a first pitch strike from Hunter Gaddis. 6-3 in the regular season, 157 ERA. 7 strikeouts. He's allowed 7 hits though in the postseason. The 0-1. Big drive and a miss down low. One on a fastball that time around, or Aaron Judge has a run. 2 home runs this postseason. But if his bat can come alive any moment, it could be the dagger. Maybe. Who knows? The 0-2. Aaron Judge fouls this one. He'll stay alive on this fastball. 95 miles an hour. 2-1 Ducks at the end of 2. Casey Middlestat brought Colorado within 1. Nikolai Kovalenko and Kel McCarr the assists. Kovalenko's first assist, member of the Avs, regular season. The 0-2. Delivered down low and it's... Oh, that's close. They'll call it a ball, 1-2. It looked to be on the bottom line, but it was so close to call. And it looked to be a strike. It was right onto the money, but no. Cantillo out, Gaddis in. The 1-2. And Aaron Judge fouls this one. It's a fastball going to the right side of the stance. Someone's going to get it home. So they can assure you. So 90 to 95 miles an hour, which he pops out. 1-2 pitch. Downstairs. So Josh Naylor, he's the eldest of 3 brothers between himself, Bo, and Miles. Miles plays for the Oakland Athletics. He is the youngest of the 3. Part of the organization. 2-2 pitch. Did he get a piece of that? He did. It fouled off of behind the plate and onto the way. So Miles plays third base. The 3 of them born in Mississauga, Ontario. Aaron Boone had to go get the ball for that one. Mark Leiter Jr., big pickup. The deadline from the Cubs, Northside, Chicago. 2-2. Big drive and a miss. Went after the slider. And Gaddis made him pay for that swing and miss. Jazz Chisholm Jr. struck out twice before. He also sacrificed himself to third. Moved Aaron Judge to second. On a sac bunt. So not be covering the NHL in a while. It's strictly baseball for this time being before we resume with NHL coverage. First pitch. Chisholm fouls the first pitch, one behind. So far, Lucas Reichel made his season debut for the Blackhawks. They went over the Sharks, and it was a good one for Luke Richardson. Blocking his shot, showing the initiative, taking the hard strides there. The 0-1. Curved it nicely to the left. A changeup worked that time for Gaddis. Now makes it an 0-2 count. Cleveland tried to get back into this game and hold off the Yankees. And then get to a spot where Manuel Clase can make a much needed save. The 0-2. Big swing and a miss. And that's the bread and butter for Gaddis as Chisholm struck out going after a well-placed ball to the right, in which it completely faked out Chisholm. Giancarlo Stanton, 1 for 3, had a 3-run shot earlier in this game. He did the thing in the 6th inning. But in the 7th, it was all Guardians. They made it interesting. And they can pull through in the clutch again. Stanton, first pitch. Fit it perfectly. Fastball 96. A bullet to that side. 3-run home run at 6 for Stanton, 1 for 3. 4 home runs so far in the postseason. And an early frontrunner should the Yankees make it to the World Series for the World Series MVP. This pitch, big drive and a miss. The bread and butter, the changeup for Gaddis. To faked out Stanton and everyone on their feet. Waving their towels. A sea of red here. 0-2. Big drive and a miss. The hell of a changeup. How about a slider this time around from Gaddis? And a scoreless 8th inning sends us to the bottom. 1-2, 3 and out. As the Guardians, a shot to take the lead or even tie it. We'll be right back in a moment. Bo Naylor leads out the bottom of the 8th. Immediately just like that first pitch ball. It was for him. Outside the bottom left spot. Progressive field rocking here as Mark Leader Jr. And this is a line drive to right. Fair. Lands down. A bounce off the wall. It'll be a double for Bo Naylor. It's Bo time. The heat is on here in Cleveland, and the place is on their feet. It's loud, and the stadium is shaking. Placed exactly where he wanted at right field with a precise hit. Now Bo has a double. And leading off the 8th. Mark Leader Jr. 10 pitches in. Already, Yankee bullpen seeing their fair share of trouble against these Cleveland bats who have come alive. Brian Rocchio, outside left. It's a line drive to right. And Bo Naylor in scoring position. That's one of the best that was seen here. This place alive and well. The Yankees at one point led 6-2. Guardians are within 1. And a big swing and a miss for Rocchio, who's 0 for 2, has yet to deliver. Best batting average so far for the Guardians thus far entering this game. Up until it's retaken by Stephen Kwan. 2 for 3 with 3 runs so far. Stephen Vogt watches onwards. The 1-1. That's the little downstairs. 2-1 count. 13 pitches in. 2-1. Rocchio could capitalize. Now, Bo Naylor stepping out of place. Bouncing ball. It's on the ground. There's no play at third, but there is at first. Rocchio sacrifices himself. Moves Bo Naylor to third base. He's there with 1 out. Stephen Kwan has shown his best in this game. As well as Jose Ramirez. Kwan 2 for 3. Ramirez 2 for 4. Kwan walked his first at bat. Hit a base hit to left in the third. And a base hit to right in the 7th. Only time he didn't get anything was in the 5th. And that is the final mound meeting that the Yankees have. They have used it up. So with Bo Naylor over at third base, in the place of Austin Hedges, he has come alive. Brian Rocchio. He represents the go-ahead run. Now that responsibility falls on Stephen Kwan. Naylor is the tying run. Kwan the go-ahead run. And he's at the plate. Tying run at third. And Ross Colton is tied up on the power play. All even up to a piece at Ball Arena. And now Kwan, he can deliver. First pitch is inside on the cutter. 0-1 count on the right center. Two base hits for Stephen Kwan. Can he deliver again? And this is downstairs. 85 on the splitter. A postseason full of heroics for Cleveland. And it's been a different player each time. John Kelsey Noel, Andres Jimenez, and David Fry yesterday. Today was Jose Ramirez and Josh Naylor. And as Kwan taking ball 2 to the right on the splitter. 2-1 count. Mark Leiter Jr. 17 pitches in. Runner at third. Running into some trouble. Naylor's going to be alert. There's going to be a wild pitch. This one. And Kwan pops this one up. It's that shallow right. That's a big curve. Does not move Bo Naylor. 2 up and 2 away. And David Fry. He's coming up. More heroics? Maybe. I was fouled out by Alex Verdugo. And John Kelsey Noel's fly ball looked to be deep enough to the left field to get at least something there, but Verdugo chased it down nicely. Perfect placement. Fry make his third at bat. First pitch. And Fry right on cue. Picked up by Leiter. No. And the throw mishandled. This is a tied ball game. Do you believe it? Oh my! This game is tied as Mark Leiter and Anthony Rizzo mishandled the ball. Rizzo dropped the ball. And they're going to score it as an infield base hit. If this is not counted as an error. I thought it would be scored as an error. Oh my goodness, what a colossal mistake by Anthony Rizzo. It will be scored as an infield base hit. And there's some concern about Josh Naylor. So Stephen Vogt jumped out the dugout and noted that Josh Naylor comes on. Bo Naylor scored on a throwing error by Mark Leiter Jr. Anthony Riz is a throwing error. No scored as such. Infield base hit. No count as such. 6-6. Jose Ramirez at first base as the Yankees are intentionally walking him. But Josh Naylor can give the Guardians the lead. He swings and misses. On a curveball, it went down low for Naylor. He's 2 for 4. Fouled out. A base hit to left. A double to right. This Guardians team's so resilient. Now what's the Yankees' plan? Strike 2. Got it at the bottom left corner. So a strike swinging, a strike looking, a curveball and a splitter. It's Mark Leiter Jr. So now the Yankees with the pressure at their backs. Oh, 0-2 count. Leiter spiked. Nobody moves. 1-2. So they score as a throwing error. I thought it was a fielding error by Rizzo at first base. And a bad mistake by Rizzo. Crucial mistake. Tied at 6. 1-2. Downstairs. On a splitter. He's got a couple of those clutch moments as Josh Naylor. For this postseason batting 216, Jose Ramirez 226. But Ramirez is having the time of his life batting. Naylor is 2 for 4. There's a 2-2. Big swing and a miss. And no further damage done, so that sets the Guardians up on a walk-off situation. But first they'll have to get by at the top of the ninth. Rizzo, Volpe, and Wells. That went right between the legs of Anthony Rizzo on the tying run where Bo Naylor is brought home thanks to David Fry. Emmanuel Clase is coming in next. Oh, this certainly got interesting, JJ, as we enter on board for the ninth inning. So it was first 6-2 Yankees. Now it's even up at 6. The Guardians are not going down easily. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. I'm happy to be back on here, man. I literally just got inside from some high school action here in Louisiana. Coming close down to the playoffs now, so I've been attending some games, calling some games, so I'm back to at least get a chance to enjoy some baseball. Let's go, Yankees.
And the Yankees have Anthony Rizzo at the plate. A bad drop, and Rizzo, he lines this to left off Emmanuel Croisset. It's a base hit. Well, Croisset, for as unhittable as he is in the regular season, it's certainly been a different story in the postseason. For as much as his 0.61 ERA was regular season-wise, his ERA postseason, 9. That's uncharacteristic of Croisset.
Yeah, he definitely has to pick it up a bit. I think just a little bit more just to get us enough over in. But I mean, it's like it's the playoffs. And people got to look at it like we're used to seeing so much of a dominance from a different team, but it's like I'll take what we could get, because for the previous years we have been very unsuccessful in the playoffs. So I take what we could get. Like I said, this season I think the Yankees needed a closure. We don't have really good pitchers like that, but just enough to get us to and through. I think we're doing just fine, but we need to pick it up a bit, man. We got to finish the game strong, especially against these Guardians.
And so far, there's one strike on Anthony Volpe, the sophomore shortstop. John Birdie comes in as the pinch runner for Rizzo. Birdie, line drive, right center. Rizzo on his way. He's going to third. And that advances him 2 bases on this base hit by Volpe. So the bats are coming back alive here for the Bronx Bombers.
There we go. That's how you have to keep moving the ball. You have to move it comfortably, so that we can get the ball going. It's just I take a hit, man. If we can get some RBIs, some solid RBIs, I think we can be just fine.
Yeah, the ground game. Yeah, so far for the Yankees, it's been the fly ball game with Juan Soto, Austin Wells, and Giancarlo Stanton. All of those runs by the Yankees scored were on home runs. Soto in the first, Wells in the second, Stanton the sixth, on a 2-run shot, solo shot, 3-run shot, respectively. And now with Volpe on board, you now have Austin Wells, the catcher. And that's a little downstairs. Cutter 97 from Croisset.
There we go, and I'm loving it, man. And the way Judge and Stanton has been rolling. I have not seen this much production from Judge and Stanton since we had a solid season since they both were acquired. Well, not at the same time, but when we acquired Stanton, and we got our money's worth. So I'm loving it.
Yep, Anthony Volpe, he was on his way to second, and he stole it. The throw was a little off there from Bo Naylor on the way to second base. So Volpe, a little shaken up, but he seems to be no worse for wear when running over to second base. He could use those legs. We talked about some of the fastest runners in the MLB and how those stolen bases can be effective come postseason time. And so far, he is capitalizing on the opportunities.
Yeah. And I think where a lot of people, well, I'm as we are baseball analysis right here, the fast runners are the ones. I mean, you wouldn't see a fast runner get a home run probably once in a blue moon, probably like every 7 games, probably every 10 games, and those guys we use those guys to just get the RBIs, just to steal the base and anything, because they're that fast and they affect the game in a positive way, and they will give you results. I love the results, I mean, I just tell them, listen, just at least give me a ground ball. Give me a ground ball. Give me a ground ball. Give me double. I'll take triple, but I prefer triple. I'll take double or single. That way we could get a hit in. at least load the bases up enough.
Could be. So Wellesley took a big cut at 100. Here's the 2-1 on the way. 2-2. Big cut at top right. That evens the count at 2 apiece. So Quase, rough goings this postseason. Maybe this could be some redemption for him on this 2-2 pitch as he's going by the rookie catcher Austin Wells on the next one. See how this next one goes as Volpe steps out. 2-2. Big cut and a miss. Same placement for Quase on each one of those free cutters. And each one of them clocked in at 100. And those were the free strikes. Ooh, that was coming in like a missile. Yep. A fastball that looked more like a cutter. So now it's Alex Verdugo. Ground ball. It's going to be a tough play to home. It's not there. The Yankees back on top. 7-1 on an infield base hit by Alex Verdugo.
There we go. That's how we get back on top. That's how you play the game.
I still want to wonder what in the world is going on with Emmanuel Quase. It's a fielding error by Brian Rocchio. So it's not an infield basis. They score as an error, not an infield basis. So error number 6, they rule it against the Guardians. 7-6. That's downstairs. And this is with Gleyber Torres. We're back at the top of the order. A double play can still be there for Cleveland if this is grounded to the infield. So 1-0 count, slider. On the way, big swing and a miss. Top left corner that time, he went back to the reliable cutter. It evens the count at 1. So Torres spent his entire career with the Yankees, so has Aaron Judge. 1-1. And that's line foul to right. 1-2 as this hit the safety netting. If there's a strikeout or if there's no double play to be had, we go to Juan Soto. 1 for 4 for run is Torres. Soto on deck. He's 1 for 3. 2 runs.
Hey, Alex, I'm going to step away for like 7 minutes real quick, okay?
No worries, man. 1-2 pitch. Here's a liner over the head of Andres Jimenez. 8-6 Yankees as this scores in a run. Alex Verdugo's in.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's go, Yankees. Let's go. All I need now is the Mets to do what they got to do. All I need is I want to see a New York World Series. Let's go.
Now this results in a mound meeting from Carl Willis, one of the best pitching coaches in the MLB. But that went over the head of Quase, split the gap, and a perfect placement. And finally, the Yankees perhaps averting disaster. There's been no other postseason meeting in the MLB that's been more frequent that is with the Yankees outside of them and the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's been the most frequent. The last time they met, however, 1981. It just so happened to be the first ever championship series between a New York team and a Los Angeles team. Ever. In the 4 major North American professional sports. So yeah, this one truly is big with Juan Soto coming in. Oswaldo Cabrera now the pinch runner. He's at first base. Verdugo at first. So that's a bouncer. Spike to the dirt. So Verdugo at second. I had to correct myself. Volpe scored. But the Dodgers and Yankees met 11 times. All of them in the 20th century. None have come in this century. The last time they met, 1981. Dodgers lead their series 3-2 on the New York Mets though they've lost earlier today, 12-6.
Yeah, I think the Mets are trying to really imply on their way of trying to get back into the glory days, which we know that ain't happening. But hey, I would love, like I said, anybody, we have seen stranger things in the world of sports, and this is probably the most strangest that I will say I recognize, because who would have thought that a New York World Series, if the Mets can get it done, I think they play tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow it is the Yankees and Guardians Game 5. So no chance for double play, as the throw from second base to first base was not there for Brian Rocchio, as the play it's a fielder's choice. It puts away the runner at second. However, advances Verdugo to third base. So now, but Game 6 between the Dodgers and Mets is on Sunday. It just so also happens to be Game 5 between the Liberty and the Lynx. So now, we have something interesting here, JJ. So the Guardians are intentionally walking Aaron Judge to face Jazz Chisholm Jr. So Chisholm, he fouls this one. Big cut. 0-1.
This is it's weird right now.
And even for Judge's postseason struggles, he can still deliver a home run at any time. So I feel that's where they sense danger. And Chisholm, he swung and missed on that cut. 0-2 to count. The Guardians trail by 2. And if Clase can get out this bases loaded jam, they'd be in prime position to potentially get a win in walk-off fashion like they did yesterday in Game 3 in the 10th inning. Or even tie this here. Takes ball 1. Carter 98 was downstairs. This is the danger when throwing balls with the bases loaded outside the zone. If it's a ball 4, that scores a run. The 1-2. And Chisholm to right. There's no play to be had there for Chisholm. And Clase does get out the bases loaded jam. He runs at first base to put away Chisholm. So intentionally walking Judge has helped. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. The Guardians have a chance to tie it or win it. Lane Thomas.
Here we go. This game right here.
Yeah. Lane Thomas will lead off, followed by John Kency Noel and Andres Jimenez. And Noel, who delivered a game-tying run yesterday in Game 3, he can be known for postseason heroics. I thought he had a run. I thought he homered earlier in this game. It fooled me out because I thought it was deep enough, but it was only to the warning tracks. Alex Verdugo chased it down and made the catch. And guess who was at the bases at the time when Noel homered? Lane Thomas.
Here we go. Here we go.
In the meantime, ever since the 35-second mark at the third period, the Colorado Avalanche and Anaheim Ducks are tied. The Avalanche, strangely, as weird as it may be, are looking for their first win of the year. They're 0-4-0 on the season. Yeah, given that it's weird normally because the Avalanche are one of the stronger teams in the National Hockey League, but goaltending has held them back to begin with because Alexander Georgiev has not been as advertised thus far with Colorado in this year to start the year and last year. He'd have a good first year in Colorado. Then the wheels start to fall off as the save percentage dwindled below 900. And this year is not off to a good start. He's stopped 11 of 13 duck shots. The Avalanche, on the other hand, they fired 39 shots at Lucas Dostal. But he's been... Actually, it's 41 shots at Lucas Dostal. But Dostal has been very good. Perhaps it's the heir apparent to John Gibson. He's made 39 saves. So now, bottom of the ninth, put up or shut up time here for the Yankees. They're not sending out Luke Weaver onto the mound. So their closer, who has made every save thus far for them in every opportunity, it'll now be Tommy Kahnle and his turn to make the save for the Yankees. They lead 8-6 thanks to 2 clutch hits from Alex Verdugo and Gleyber Torres. So Kahnle playing some catch. This is first save opportunity. Weaver's had the first 4 so far, in which he made every save when the Yankees had that opportunity up against the Kansas City Royals in a low-scoring match. Oswaldo Cabrera is at first, John Berti at second. They are utility players, though Berti has primarily played first base. He swats it at second, Cabrera at first. 1-0 count. Lane Thomas 0 for 2 with 2 walks. 9 RBI, 2 home runs so far for Thomas in this postseason. Can he deliver another time? The 1-0. Inside. Bottom left corner. On the changeup, 85 miles an hour. It has Kahnle's dominant pitch. It's the call towards him, and the Avalanche take the lead thanks to Ross Colton with his second of the game. The 1-1. To the left. Changeup. That time around. To 1 count here for Thomas. Pitch on the way. Just downstairs. It makes for a free 1 count for Thomas. Kahnle with the save opportunity for New York and the Bronx Bombers. Cleveland trying to pull some more late game heroics, like they did game 3 yesterday with John Kelsey Noel and David Fry. 3-1 pitch. It's inside. Top center on the changeup. 87 miles an hour. So now it's a full count, and John Kelsey Noel, big Christmas on deck. Payoff pitch. Cold strike 3. It looked to be just outside the bottom left corner, and Thomas is shaking his head at that, but the Yankees will take whatever they can get. 1 down, 2 to go. Noel is now up. Jimenez on deck. Jimenez a Gold Glove winner. Quan a 2-time Gold Glove winner. You have defense here throughout this lineup as Noel, left center on the changeup. That's a dominant pitch here for the Yanks. Noel 0 for 1 with a flyout. 1 home run. That's been the game time run in game 3. We don't know if he can deliver again, but that's yet to be known. This pitch downstairs. 88 on this changeup again. So Kahnle has delivered a lot of changeups thus far. 5:24 to go in the third period. Avalanche up 3-2. Ross Colton from Mikko Rantanen and Nathan McKinnon. The 1-1 is downstairs again. It's a changeup. So Kahnle in. Looking to be the hero for the Yanks. 10th pitch is the 2-1. Downstairs again. 2 separate stints with the Yankees are between by 1 year with the Dodgers. In his career, Kahnle has 1 save opportunity. John Kelsey Noel, he fouls this one to left field. And someone catches it. In order to get something from Big Christmas. Kahnle has 1 career save. That coming in 2017. Has 4 holds. 1 each in 2017 and 2019. 2 this year. Another payoff opportunity here. Down the count. Got him on the account to Lane Thomas. Could he do the same to Noel? On the way. on the left. And that brings up the tying run to the plate. Andres Gimenez could tie this up with one swing. 1 for 4, 2 strikeouts. Tomorrow, Game 5, Yankees and Guardians. Sunday, Game 6, Mets and Dodgers. Each game of crucial importance. Every step you take could decide the impact of this game. Runner on board, that's Noel. Gimenez, 1 for 4 of a base hit. 188 batting average thus far. Tommy Cano, 12 pitches in. First pitch. Takes ball 1 on a changeup. Yet again, that's been the dominant pitch of Cano thus far. A changeup. Luke Weaver's warming up. In the event that Cano is shelled. The 1-0. Gimenez tears it over. Right field, it splits the gap. Bernie can't get it. Soto can't either. And it moves the bases. Noel at second. Gimenez at first. And the winning run on the plate. Bo Naylor can be the hero. Andres Gimenez with his second hit of the game. And Bo Naylor can win it with one swing. It can change everything. Over Birdie's head. That swing, perfect place in the gap. Over Birdie's head. Soto couldn't get it. The throw not on time for Noel. And no tag was made. 11 hits to 10 in favor of the Guardians. On the first pitch, Bo Naylor skies this up. Aaron Judge is back and the Guardians will be down to their final out. No movement at second base. Noel stays put. Oswaldo Cabrera moves up. Brian Rocchio 0 for 3. Though he can go up huge and be the hero. Do remember, second highest batting average on this team, right behind Stephen Kwan, 405. It's been one of their best hitters this postseason. Home run, 2 RBI, 957 OPS. Giving it all he's got. 3:04 left in the third period to the Avs and the Ducks. 8-6 Yankee lead. Tommy Cano trying to get the save here. Ground ball foul to left. 2 more strikes against the Guardians. They're on their last out. And again, that was on a changeup. Bronx Bombers, they can move ahead 3 games to 1 of this series after nearly blowing a 4-run lead. Noel at second, Gimenez at first. The 0-1, big changeup, and a miss there by Rocchio. And the Guardians down to the last strike. The pitching has been huge for both sides, but the hits also as well. Tommy Cano can get the Yankees one step closer to the World Series. Rocchio can tie this or win it. Winning run is at the plate. And the 0-2, ground ball, picked up. Oh, cannot be. The throw on time. And the New York Yankees one win away from the World Series. What a game. Eight 6, the final score. And Tommy Cano gets his second save of his postseason career. Birdie mishandled for a moment. Redeemed himself and throw to Oswaldo Cabrera right on cue. And they can end the Guardians season tomorrow. That's going to do it from Cleveland. Do the Guardians believe? Or do the Yankees advance? Find out tomorrow for Game 5. I'm Alec Nava saying so long from Cleveland, Ohio. Good night, everyone.